I am a student of Socrates. And Socrates said, when the death sentence was passed upon him and the youth asked him to escape in the night, he said, look, the law protected my rights and I enjoyed those rights. If the law now demands my life, I will surrender. So every right-thinking citizen should be able to surrender to law. You cannot enjoy serene with security running around you, and when question will be asked about accountability, and you will want to evade it. So selective justice is the current crisis bedeviling the Nigerian judicial system.
All right. Very interesting answer you've given there. When you made reference to Mr. John Odige Oyegun, we recalled the slip-up that happened yesterday when he wanted to say ADC and he said APC. That video has now gone viral. And that then speaks to what my colleague had said earlier about many assuming or saying that what we're seeing is recycled politicians. But like you said, there are hardly any new politicians. We'll come back to talk some more about this. We want to go on a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll expand the conversation even further. Please stay with us.
Get ready to dial up entertainment with Take 3.
And delve into the world of entertainment like never before.
Burna Boy is back in the news and he had something interesting to say. There's the big three, including himself, Davido, and Whiskey. So what happened to others?
Some Afrobeat artist, some hip-hop artist is coming to say, I'm the greatest alive. I'm sorry, but you people sound like toddlers at this point.
Catch the latest news and gist, as well as celebrity interviews. Now let's not forget, of course, the exclusive behind-the-scenes access and more.
Take 3 is your one-stop shop for all things entertainment. Now I'm talking music, movies, live events, and of course the trending stories.
We are gradually losing the reason behind the Ashwebi in the first place. There's a friend of mine who is not talking to me again. You added me to a group without even telling me. I have passed my budget for the year. Shimuma Paramini.
How do we save this country?
You moved from the APC to the PDP.
Therefore, listen, I'm still paying teachers in Ondo State. If Olabode Josh should be expelled from the party.
It's an existential imbecility, utter nonsense.
Join me, Dakpo Adeboye, on Politics HQ, where Nigeria's political heartbeat is felt. Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. on News Central.
As the world winds down, the truth is just beginning to unfold.
Stories tonight. ICRC mourns rising spate of kidnapping in Nigeria's north. We need electoral reforms. The way it worked now did not work for us.
Join us tonight at 9 p.m. where we bring the world to your screen with clear and incisive reports. Tonight on News Central, every story counts.
Welcome back to Breakfast Central. We're still speaking about the just concluded ADC convention, and we're joined by the former Minister of Sports and a member of the ADC, Honorable Solomon Dalong. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I wanted us to speak to a certain concern that many Nigerians have asked, especially those who have observed the happenings within the ADC. There's a current leadership tussle within the party, and also there are very key political figures who have amassed a great level of following. Yesterday at the convention, certain names were being chanted. How does the ADC hope to manage the ambitious clashes between these various personalities within the party?
There is an adage in Africa that if you have a beautiful daughter, you cannot be complaining of a visit of young men to your house. I think looking at what happened yesterday and seeing the sea of heads that gathered at the National Convention, we should expect some of these things in politics. The leadership crisis, as it was clearly stated by the National Secretary of the party, the leadership that is nothing to the best of my understanding, to be very objective, that one could conceive as leadership crisis. But politically, such things are bound to happen. And there are political distractions that will test the resolve of your ambition and intention to effect those particular political reforms and the vision of restoring democracy. So the distractions are to test this. And I think the party is stable. The party is on course, because listening to the speech of the national chairman, he gave a clear direction of how the party has fared so far. And the national secretary x-rayed the requirements of law that guided the transition and the participation of the members of the party, who suddenly now remember that, okay, they had a position to occupy, and they went to court. But like the National Secretary stated, the neck of the party dissolved the National Working Committee. And Nafiu Balagombe was at that neck meeting. He did not raise a counter motion. He did not oppose it. He endorsed it. Just for him, from the 29th of July 2025, to remember on the 2nd of September that at that next meeting where he was sitting down and he endorsed all that took place, that he was supposed to have taken over. What actually transpired is before the court. So the court will weigh the authenticity of the documents before it and make a pronouncement about it. But we are not worried. The expulsion of some members of the party whose activities had been undermining the corporate existence and the unity of the party was based on the report of the National Executive Council, which, after due processes, decided that they were no more wanted in the party. Now, their decision cannot take effect except ratified by the National Convention. And the constitution of the party requires that such decisions shall be taken by a voice vote or voting where necessary. And it was decided by a voice vote that they had been expelled from the party. Now, the question is, how do we intend to manage it? In my candid opinion, we have been engaging, the party has been quite engaging, reaching out to these members, but it was all futile. Even recent leaders of the parties who joined the party recently initiated meetings with some of these expelled members, but they turned down after accepting to attend the meeting. So these were some of the things that were taken into consideration for the NEC to arrive at that resolution. Okay, just to finalize this conversation, final question. Yesterday, a fight did break out, we hear, and footages show you in very strong arguments. Your voice was raised, and we heard it was in line with the fact that the people from Plateau State were not allowed to participate in the voting process yesterday at the ADC convention. But these are all what you find, especially from different reports. But since you're here and
you are here in flesh and blood. Can you confirm to us that the people of Plateau State were not allowed to participate in the voting process yesterday at the ADC convention? And what could possibly be the reason why you were agitated at some point?
Yes, in Africa, there is an adage that says, a bad dream does not prevent you from sleeping. There were attempts by certain renegade elements within the party who misled the leadership of the party about the state of affairs on the plateau. And the delegation from Plateau, because we had our congresses peacefully, we elected even a new chairman, and we elected delegates to this national convention. We were at the accreditation stand. All the delegates were accredited. They were well seated. They participated in all the resolutions of the party until when it came to the issue of voting for the amendment of the Constitution as required by the Constitution of ADC. Then an ambitious master of ceremony went on air that, oh, the delegates from Plateau State will not participate. And being the leader of the party from Plateau, I went to engage with the party leadership. That the announcement came to us as a surprise, more so that we have not been consulted as to why we'll be excluded from the participation. While we were having this engagement with the party leaders, the delegates from Plateau State now advanced to the VIP stand, protesting that that decision wasn't acceptable to them, and it was very, very high. So they would not accept it. But at the end of the day, the party leadership listened to me, and they were convinced that the party leadership was misled, and so that announcement was uncalled for. So the delegates from Plateau State were allowed to exercise their right to determine the amendment of the Constitution. My voice was loud because anybody who knows me, if I perceive injustice, even at the Holy Communion, of course, the Reverend Father will know that he will have to hear me louder and deal with the situation. So I perceive injustice advancing menacingly to try to deny the people of Plateau State the right to vote. And my voice at that time cannot be controlled even by angels. So that was what actually happened.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying that. And thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Like we always say, we'll wait to see how it unfolds, especially when the Supreme Court makes a decision.
We're waiting for the courts, and we indeed are law-abiding citizens. Whatever the court decides, we will go with it.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
As we wrap up that conversation, let's quickly tell you about another information that you must know. Remember, we had mentioned that the All Progressives Congress will be having a national media chat. That's what they call it later on today at 8 p.m. West African time. This will be done by the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, as well as the secretary of the All Progressives Congress. 8 p.m. will be the time. They will be talking to you Nigerians, and you might want to stick around for that one to find out what will be said and some of the information that you definitely need. Don't forget, too, that there's still reactions on social media regarding the state of insecurity and the recent statement made by the Senate President concerning the state of insecurity, the decision made by the United States of America, and not forgetting to the INEC chairman. These 3 points have been highlighted as well and has formed a major crux of conversation on social media and from different quarters in Nigeria. But there's a lot happening in the police force, and I'm sure Gbenga has all of that details to share with us. Gbenga.
Yes, indeed. The Nigerian Police Force has dismissed reports questioning the safety of some examination centers in the North Central ahead of the Joint Admission Matriculations Board examination scheduled to commence on the 16th of April 2026. The Force Public Relations Officer, Anthony Placid, dismissed the claim during a joint press briefing with the board, urging citizens to disregard the report, describing it as unsubstantiated rumors. While assuring candidates of their safety during the exams, the JAMB spokesperson, Fabian Benjamin, also revealed a slight adjustment to the examination schedule has been made.
The Nigerian Police Force wishes to categorically state that these claims are without basis. While the Nigerian Police Force does not act on rumors, the concerns raised by members of the public have been duly noted as it concerns the safety, education, and future of our children and wards. And the force has taken the following proactive steps to ensure the safety of all candidates. The Nigerian Police Force hereby reassures candidates, parents, and the general public that every measure has been taken to guarantee a safe and conducive environment for all examinations.
Together with the security agencies, we've made all necessary arrangements for them to go about their business, for them to see this examination without any challenge. As a proactive measure, following the advice from the IGP and other security agencies, we have also made slight adjustments on the arrival time, especially the morning session. Candidates have printed their slips. They will notice that they have, some of them have 6:30, that's the morning session, as their arrival time. We have adjusted that to 7 o'clock.
Well, that's an update concerning JAMB. We'll bring you more updates on that. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the stories making the headlines, especially on breakfast headlines, and that'll be followed swiftly by the front pages of the newspapers. Don't forget to keep your comments on social media. We'll look forward to read from you. Stay with us.
Send us iReport of happenings, authentic and verifiable updates around you. We want to see Africa through your eyes. Be an exclusive iReporter with News Central. Reach News Central's iReport desk on WhatsApp +234 705 500 1212 to report breaking news. You can also send via email to ireport@newscentral.africa. News Central, Africa first.
From the heart of Borno to the shores of Lake Chad, where conflict rages, courage rises, and survival is a daily battle. One voice cuts through the noise.
The battle to maintain peace in the northeast Nigeria continue.
Bringing you the truth from the front lines. Walking the ground scarred by violence, listening to the voices often silenced by fear.
Very terrible. I never prayed for even my enemy to experience such a thing.
Every report a window into resilience. Every story a reminder of hope. I am Umoru Kirawa, reporting where many fear to go and telling the stories that must be heard. News Central, fearlessly reporting on what matters most.
Welcome to Breakfast Headlines. We begin with security development. The Nigerian government has ordered an investigation into a weekend airstrike that reportedly killed dozens of civilians in the northeastern part of the country. In a statement released late Tuesday, authorities confirmed the probe into the incident, which occurred on Saturday in Jile village, located along the border of Yobe and Borno states. The move marks a significant shift from the government's initial position, where officials stated the strike had successfully targeted jihadist fighters. According to the military, the operation was aimed at a suspected logistics hub used by the militants affiliated with the Islamic State West Africa Province, also known as ISWAP. However, a conflict monitoring report prepared by the United Nations indicates that the strike instead hit a crowded local market. The Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education has raised an alarm over rising insecurity across Nigeria, describing the situation as a growing national emergency. At a press briefing in Abuja, the center says that more than 1,000 people have been abducted since January 2026, while killings have continued being recorded across the northeast, northwest, north central, and parts of the south, driven by the insurgency, banditry, and criminal violence. Executive Director of the center, Ibrahim Zikrulai, says the recent incidents, in Plateau and Borno states, including the killing of Brigadier General Hosseini Brahima, has become a dangerous trend capable of eroding public confidence, and called for urgent coordinated action to address the crisis.
This catastrophic error underscores the depth of Nigeria's security dysfunction, where citizens are now caught between the brutality of insurgents and the deadly mistakes of the very forces meant to protect them. When a senior military officer operating within what should be a fortified command environment is overrun and killed by insurgents, it sends a chilling message about the state of national security. We call on Tinubu government to undertake a comprehensive security overhaul that prioritizes intelligence-driven operations, community center strategies, and strict accountability for security failures.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has reassured families of security personnel killed in a recent attack in Kebbi State of the federal government's continued support. Speaking in Benin, Kebbi, during a condolence visit, the Vice President, representing President Bola Tinubu, expressed deep sympathy over the killing of 11 officers in Shanga local government area of the state, as well as the death of the Speaker of the Kebbi State House of Assembly, Muhammad Zuru, noting that their sacrifices will not be in vain. The Kebbi State Governor, Nasir Idris, commended the federal government's intervention and announced a 60 million naira donation to the families of the slain officers.
The demise of the Speaker of the Kebbi State House of Assembly, late Honorable Mohammed Usman Zuru, the destruction of our communities in Shanga local government area, communities like Gebe, Kalkami, Tungarimi, Awaye, and of course, the loss of our 11 gallant soldiers at Boning, Masa. To condole with you, the security establishment in Kebbi State and the government and people of Kebbi, that our hearts are with you.
When we have that incident in Shanga, our people have been displaced. We have resettled people and we have sent committee with 100 million. Kebbi State donated 100 million naira to go and resettle those people that were being displaced by the bandits that entered Kebbi State through Niger State. And also the security agencies that were being killed. Also Kebbi State government provided 60 million naira to share to the family asset.
We now turn our attention to political developments. The African Democratic Congress has taken sweeping decisions aimed at redefining its future, approving key resolutions from its 97th to 100th National Executive Committee meetings and formally adopting a new constitution at its National Convention in Abuja. Central to the shake-up is the dissolution of the Ralph Mosul-led National Working Committee, and in its place, the party has constituted a caretaker committee headed by David Mark, which will oversee a 12-month transition period. The party also endorsed congresses conducted nationwide and approved the direction of its manifesto. The move seen as a major reform, the ADC announced changes to its internal structure, including relaxing membership rules and suspending zoning requirements to broaden participation within the party. Party leaders say the decisions are aimed at strengthening internal democracy and position. Congress is still far from over, as the Supreme Court has adjourned the matter to the 22nd of April 2026. The case challenges the emergence of David Mark as the national chairman for the Apex Court, each insisting on the legitimacy of their claims to the party's leadership.
The Supreme Court really bent over backwards to accommodate accelerated hearing of this appeal because there was no formal application before the courts. The interest was essentially to just get a stay of execution of the orders of the Court of Appeal. So the Supreme Court gave the order that the case will be accelerated, and they were basically given less than 24 hours to file their brief, which is tomorrow. We were given 3 days to file our own brief, even though we requested for 5 days. And now the appeal itself, on the basis of the notice of appeal that they filed on the 16th of March, is fixed for the 22nd of April for definite hearing by the Supreme Court.
I didn't express frustration. I rather brought before my lords a situation of extreme urgency and a situation that is of fundamental importance to democratic growth. And you can see that they also appreciated that position and are bent backward to give me 1 day to file my brief and give the other party 3 days to file. And in a show of understanding, they also adjourned the matter to 22nd of this month. So for hearing of the matter, whether or not leadership question is justiciable.
Now it's time to bring you the update regarding the elections in Benin Republic. The National Electoral Commission in the Republic of Benin has declared Romuald Wadini the winner of the presidential election with 94.05% of the vote, with official data showing voter turnout at 58.75%, the highest participation recorded in a decade. International observers from ECOWAS and the African Union also described the conduct of the poll as largely acceptable, but called for a review of the sponsorship system to ensure broader political diversity in future exercises. Benin's finance minister has secured a decisive victory in this country's presidential election, according to the provisional result, and the win keeps the West African nation on a path of economic continuity, following nearly a decade of strong growth under outgoing President Patrice Talon. The President-elect Wadani is widely seen as a continuation of Talon's administration, which has overseen rapid economic expansion, increased tourism, and major infrastructure development. Despite the victory, significant challenges remain, and these include a widening wealth gap and growing insecurity in the country's northern regions, where attacks have been linked to jihadist groups. At 49, the technocrat was heavily favored going into the race, having been endorsed by President Talon and supported by the ruling coalition. He faced only one opponent, Paul Hunkwe, who ran a low-profile campaign and conceded defeat before the final ballots were fully counted. And that's all at this hour. Thank you very much for watching Breakfast Headlines. We will now continue with Breakfast Central. I am Olive Emodi. Let's now head to review the papers in a moment.
people, many of them trying to salvage whatever they can salvage.
Right behind me are members of the Nigerian police force to alert the protesters that they've gone past their time.
They came out with reinforcement, basically. All right, at the moment, do roll on now. Awenda.
The youth has 60% of its entire population, and it's time for their voices to be heard loud and clear. Involving the young people in nation building is not merely a question of inclusion, but one that is vital for economic growth, innovation, peace, and security. Fafanua Africa provides the platform for the teeming young and vibrant population of our dear continent to voice their concerns with one goal in mind. Provide profound and tangible solutions that will help redefine and reposition the future of Africa. Join us every Friday at 2 p.m. West African Time, 4 p.m. East African Time, and 3 p.m. Central African Time on New Central TV. Fafanua Africa, redefining Africa.
Welcome back. It's time for us to look at the front pages of the newspapers, and we have the man who's here for you and for us, public affairs analyst, Mr. Theophilus Akatuba.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, my friends.
Good morning.
My brothers and sister.
Correct.
Good to see you.
Are you not going to say good morning to those people that tackle you on our YouTube?
No. That's why. Good morning, Nigerians and my friends and those who do not agree with my analysis and my understanding of the issue.
Maybe we're jumping the gun.
Even when they are very true, and they will turn out to be true.
I agree. We have lots to talk about today that are very true.
Oh my God.
And we are going there. All right, let's start off quickly. The punch. Let's start with the punch. Let's punch them, even though they'll feel no pain. Big stories there. Joe. Mark, Atiku, Aregbesola tackle Tinubu on hardship, insecurity. Obi Amechi decry rising poverty. ADC chiefs predict tough 2027 for Tinubu. Supreme Court to hear ADC leaders appeal against INEC. April 22nd has been fixed. ADC factional leader mocks Mark, others over convention. Let's go there, straight to the convention. That's our first conversation. No need to waste time, so we have enough time to break things down. What's your take on the convention held yesterday amidst the rancor and the hula baloo?
Yeah, I think politically they have been able to showcase that they have momentum, that they are not deterred, and they will remain defiant politically. But when you look at what they did yesterday, that is beautiful. That is what they should do in terms of the political struggle in order to become, to present and position themselves as the main opposition, most formidable opposition to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC government. Now, that was done, and I feel that the venue was very disappointing, and they also say that government have driven them into that very awkward venue that's not fitting for a political party that should be able to present itself in such a big light. And if government indeed played a role in it, I think they also they did them a favor. They should have allowed them to hold the convention in a very open venue so that they can actually, demonstrate and showcase their size. Fortunately for them, that venue helped them, in my opinion.
So you think if they had used the Gold Square, they would not have been able to?
Yes, it would have been too obvious. So it's good. That was what happened to the weakest faction that went to the stadium. You saw that they were exposed as very small. And so I think ADC should enjoy the benefit done to them, even though it's not good that any government agency should prevent opposition from having access to public facilities.
You've answered the question.
It's bad and it should not happen. Now, legally, ADC is taking a big risk. The risk that the APC has taken is big when you speak legally, because there's so many cases in courts. The fact that the appeal court directive has been flouted, and they have moved on to do their convention in spite of the fact that they have been told to remain,
they even got a court injunction while they were at the convention that they should stop.
By the state, the state chairman.
No, yes, by the, let me use the word, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the right word. They got the injunction that was filed by the embattled state chairman, the one who is known as Don, who has an issue with the police and
so you see, we have, so this is the risk.
What does that tell you about the court, judiciary?
No, you see, the judiciary, we all have agreed in time past that we have not achieved the pristine and incorrupt judiciary. We have all agreed. So it's not only when politicians go there, they were part of the government that have nurtured a judiciary that they are now coming. You see, I always tell people, when you are in government and you have opportunity to change a system and you do not, that same system will consume you. That's why you are not doing anybody a favor to do right when you are in office. Tinubu is there today. If he doesn't do right, this same system, he will confront it. That's why everyone, it is good for you to create a society. Atiku, Regbeshola, they were all in power before. Was he not an internal affairs minister too? 8 years. How did he affect our judiciary? What did he do to improve this system? So today they are now on the receiving end of the matter, and they are crying, asking me and you to be behind them. No, I'm neutral. I'm not going to be behind you. I'm going to watch you enjoy what you have created, the country. You have all the years of your politics. This is what we have. So for me, the ADC is gaining momentum. We gain momentum. We do well if it can survive itself. It's not so much about the APC. It's about them, whether they will survive. Too many crises within it.
But what do you think will be the biggest challenge when you say it's surviving itself? Is it because of the ambitions of the key political figures within the party?
That is one.
Or would you say that because they argue that there are people, like they believe that Nafi Balagon is sponsored by the APC, that the APC is setting landmines within the party, and that a number of these new factions, including the said Don, are people that are just being sponsored by the ruling party to cause internal chaos?
Yeah, well, that is how they have understood their problem. So they are letting us know that these men would not have fought us. But the question is, what have they also done to reach out to them? These are human beings, and they were once in your party.
So
what I'm saying is that it is
Bolaji Abdullahi. He said entreaties have been made to Nafiu Balagombe's father.
You see that
the father said he hasn't even seen his son in the last
himself.
But that is not. You see now. That's why
but they are reaching out. It means they're making some effort.
The ADC should be matured. We don't even need to know who you reached out to. Make sure your people, your followers see that you are having meetings. You are too powerful not to be able to handle small issues. Nafiu Balago is a small matter.
But they said it seems to be backed up by state power.
It's okay.
I mean, have you seen his security?
I like your word.
Have you seen
his security details?
Can I say something? I like your word. In everything, even in nations, when nations have problems, when nations have implosion, sometimes we hear that non-governmental organizations, international organizations influence opposition. We've seen that. It is for you who is in charge of your seat to ensure you also fight from within. I think the ADC still need to work. If ADC survives itself, it is the most formidable opposition to President Tinubu. They have a broad coalition of powerful politicians, of big names. They have a lot going for them. And the fact that they are tackling Tinubu on insecurity and economy, yes, because Tinubu has undertaken bold reforms, and it is easy to convince citizens against him. So they are going on well, but will they survive themselves? Will they overcome all the legal tussles? The fact that they say is the ruling party, if they don't have something to counter it, then they are dead indeed. Because the ruling party will not relent.
Are those struggles makings of their own? Are they inflicted.
Yes, they are all, you see, they are all a mixture of self-inflicted, then other people can utilize it. Because when your enemy is trying to fight you, you look at your weakest point. So the enemy of the ADC, which the ADC says is APC will not relent to utilize every weak point against them. And there's no way, you can't say that democracy is threatened because the APC is trying to make sure you don't win. That's democracy.
I know it's a short time and we need to move on with the paper. There was a footage, I don't know if producers were able to get to the president during the commissioner of the NRS edifice yesterday had said, I mean, while he was thanking the Senate president, he also made mention that he was going to send him to the other side to scatter that place. And many said that gives like a confirmation that the president is aware of what has been happening even within the other political parties.
But that's not the first time we've heard the
president. You see, the president has always told you that I'm not in politics to make you better. I'm here to make it difficult for you because I wasn't on the other side. Nobody made it easy for me and I fought. That's why I tell the ADC, you are not fighting a man who has been with, because Atiku was with Tinubu on the other side. Every strategy, they have discussed, Atiku has always been with Tinubu in political life. They have been together on a ticket. So when they strategize, you will be able to know that this is, so anything they are doing, there's nothing new. They know that Tinubu has weaknesses now in terms of economy, security, and they are going to leverage on that. But whatever you are saying at the national level, do you have the grassroots, channel so that this thing can permeate down? Because APC has is in a very strong position. They have control of federal political infrastructure, which the president used yesterday at the opening. That was platform telling you that, look, they are saying I will send you to go and scatter it because I don't want them to win me.
Okay, let's talk about
not deceiving you about that.
Let's talk about this, Senate president as well. Let's go back to the Punch newspaper. But before then, I'd like to mention that the phone lines are open if you'd like to call. The numbers to call on your TV screen. We'll also be taking comments from YouTube. So now is the time to go on YouTube. We're streaming via News Central TV.
What paper?
Drop your comments. The Punch is the paper I will take. Drop your comments and I'll read comments from YouTube as we proceed. But let's go back to the Punch. There's a story that I...
Can we have the picture of the Punch newspaper?
On the front page of the Punch, you look at the top right, this same Akpabio that you're speaking about. Akpabio links terror attacks to plots against Tinubu. That is the top story, and that went viral. And, it has elicited a lot of reactions. We have had ours here. But let's get your thoughts,
Yeah, Akpabio is a man that speaks like somebody who is jesting, but in the midst of it, he will tell you the truth. What is happening in Nigeria, like we have always maintained on this platform, is that sometimes politicians use our weak areas in order, when it's time for campaign, we've seen an upsurge of insecurity. It was used against Jonathan, it was used... So Akpabio is just stating the obvious, what we already know. What we need is solution. We don't want government to say because it's politics that Nigerians have to be killed.
So part of the statement was that you will see 2 weeks after election now.
I've seen it too. I saw it too. When Tinubu came, things went down a little bit.
Is he trying to justify the lack of a coordinated response in dealing with this?
There's no way.
Let's just wait till end of election season.
If insecurity is politically motivated, you can't stop. You can't defeat it.
Why can't
because
you have the full complement of government, the armed forces?
Have complement, but it has size and capacity.
That's admitting to failure, it doesn't inspire confidence in Nigerians.
You will be deceiving yourself.
So what should ordinary Nigerians expect when it comes to the government securing their lives?
Must understand that this is the capacity of my government. If you don't understand that, you will expect them to do what they can.
But aren't they being used as cannon fodder for politics?
Politics is the danger of Nigeria. What are we doing now? We are playing politics. It's time for politics. So see what we are hearing. We're hearing the same old story. They are telling us the same thing, old promises. We are now
is that not a failure on the government's part?
That, you see, what is the ADC doing? There's sentiment. They didn't allow me to use venue. They didn't do this. They stopped me in court. They're not talking about...
Is it not a failure on their part not to secure the lives of Nigerians, regardless of what is the cause of the insecurity?
Every government when a citizen is killed. That is the truth. You cannot exonerate yourself. That's why you are in office. You are in office to protect lives and properties and provide good life. When you have not done that, will you say you have succeeded? You can only say, I am trying to do something, but have you succeeded? Nigeria has not succeeded.
Right.
This president has not succeeded in clearing and ending insecurity. That's the truth. And it's going to be a big subject at the election, and that's what the opposition
It really is going to be a
highlighting.
big subject. And, you know, part of the criticism against what Senator Akpabio said is that it's simplistic at best, just saying, oh, the problem is because of elections and after the elections. Because there are many, the problem with
It's also
insecurity
tone deaf.
is hydra-headed.
And
We're just talking about how many soldiers have been killed. In the past 5 months, we've seen how many top-ranking officials, as well as commanding officers that have been killed, right?
He also said the United States travel advisory
Yes.
and the withdrawal of the non-essential staff from the embassy in Abuja is due to the Iran war because the Iran was going to, they're afraid that Iran will blow the embassy in Abuja. What do you make of that?
Akpabio is not an ordinary citizen. Akpabio sits at the heights of government.
Is there any truth to what he said?
We cannot say yes or no. America must be looking at Nigeria as a volatile ground with the Gumis, with all these people that parade themselves as supporters of Iran. They also have that. So from intelligence,
I'm talking
of the other man, Ex-Azaki and his people. So if you look at that, Nigeria is seen more as an Islamic country. If you look at the whole global perspective, they see because of the way things erupt when anything happens in the Islamic world and something just happened in Nigeria, people protest. So America is reacting because you are not seen as a country that is not Islamic. We are seen as part Islamic, part Nigeria. So America could have reacted like that. But also, I have not seen other countries reacting all the time. It's only America that tend to, because America has a lot of issues globally.
Is insecurity, but aren't you talking about insecurity in Nigeria?
No, America did not talk to the embassy because of general Nigerian insecurity. It must have something to do with their engagement in Iran.
So even when they've issued travel advisories in the past, it had to do with the external factors.
No, America has different reasons for action.
So
You've
why
seen
you
that
not,
even in Kenya, the embassy was bombed many years ago because of their relationship with their engagement. So is it Somalis or the Arab people in Somalia bombed the American embassy in Kenya in retaliation. So American embassies are always under siege for many reasons that you might not.
So it's not because of insecurity in Nigeria?
Not the general, because they are participating in Nigerian security. They have the people on ground. They know better that things are going. This is what they want to do. But that could be, because Akpabio is not just someone outside of government. They must be close to.
So anything the Senate president says must be taken.
You know, you must take it seriously, whether it's true or false, because he's Senate president and he has access to classified information.
Okay, so that means...
Let's go to another
All right.
paper.
Okay.
On YouTube, Paris Amaka says, I feel ADC should have held back until an accelerated hearing from Supreme Court, because if Supreme Court ruled otherwise, it's monarchy we will be seeing. No, now Papa, Mama, and Peking will be seeing.
But this accelerated, and I'm glad this is your constituency. How long does it take? I mean, accelerated since all these days.
Well,
but still accelerating.
They accelerated it now to 22nd, from 14 to 22nd.
It's not accelerated enough.
You want them
have you
move it to
followed
September?
cases in Nigeria?
Some cases should.
based on.
No, I think we should give it to the judicial.
I feel the ADC should, while they are doing their legal pursuit, they should set up a very high power. I think we'll spend $1.something million to get some international. If you put that money at home, you will turn faces. You will turn ears.
Are you encouraging bribery?
Are you saying
I am not,
something
because
that...
the money you gave to our dollar that you send outside is not bribery.
No, it's not. It's their money.
It's his money.
It's his money.
It is his money.
No, I'm saying that money is Atiku's money. He should spend it within the party structure.
So you are saying that he should do money
What
for
should he do?
If he doesn't do it, then the people... you know, in Nigerian political sphere...
I'm not a politician.
No, you don't know. Let me speak to you. The Nigerian politics, those who are leaders of Nigerian political sphere know they are leaders because they spend money.
Well,
No
so
Nigerian
what are you advising
politician
him to
today
spend this money
is a
on?
leader because he doesn't spend money.
So
because the Nigerian political followers, they are money mongers.
But the Obedience have a massive movement, and Peter Obi they give shishi.
But that's why they performed the way they did. That's why those
Tafawa
people
Balewa did not spend money.
But Tafawa Balewa,
okay.
There was some...
Are you talking of?
Let's move on
Nigeria has advanced.
Let's go to leadership.
Advanced negative.
Since we're talking about leaders, let's go to the leadership newspaper now. Let's see what
But
leadership
before we go
looks
to
like.
leadership, let's take a call from Port Harcourt. We have Frank calling from Port Harcourt. Frank, let's expect a frank comment from you this morning.
Wow.
Good morning, and thanks for calling. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me dwell on the comments of our Senate President Obama that insecurity will stop after 2027 election. And he alluded that they are killing these people because of the Tinubu election. I want to tell Mr. President that what matters is the life of Nigeria. The people that are killing, they are Nigerians. And all one should bear in mind that the killing is not good. He should condemn it and make sure that they tell Nigeria that they are doing something about it, rather than politicizing it. I'm not happy seeing my brother in the north dying on daily basis. It's not good. Our president, please, anytime you want to say something, please think twice before you say it. We are number 3% in our country. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Frank. So
Okay.
I don't know if you see the sense what he's saying, that the Senate President needs to be measured in his communication, because everything he said or says will be taken with.
Well, as a person,
So
I like Akpabio because at least he makes things a bit lighthearted.
No, it's not lighthearted.
No, I'm saying
these are very serious.
I know they are serious, but you see, it's the truth that politicians use insecurity for election. It's been so. Once something comes and is being used successfully in the past, the politicians
whose responsibility is it to stop it?
They don't have new tricks.
They're making excuses.
I'm saying this is what they do to us.
So that means what we're saying is that from now until elections, Nigerians are going to be killed and Yakubu should manage.
He said that is what he sees as happening. It's government responsibility to stop it. If they don't, they will use it against them.
And I think it's very lazy and simplist. I think it's lazy and
let's not tackle the word.
It's an oversimplification of our security issues are multifaceted. There might be a political angle to it, but just to dismiss everything and say, it's opposition.
Does it mean government's not going to do anything about it?
No.
Okay,
no, that's not my issue. I'm saying what he said is wrong. In the fact,
what I'm saying is,
it's not just political Boko Haram.
When you are light-hearted,
there
doesn't mean that what you will say will be right or wrong. I just said light-hearted. What I'm saying, he could have said something wrong, but it's light-hearted. You can throw a joke at somebody and it can be offensive.
I mean, you're the one that is interpreting it as light-hearted.
Let me come to
it's your interpretation that is light-hearted. I didn't see it as light-hearted.
I understand. Let me say about general death. Nigerians are somewhat always outraged when soldiers die in the front lines. That is to be expected. You cannot, let's not make a drama out of it as if that is going to, but to the extent that they were ambushed like that, it means there are insiders, they need to put their house in order. What I know is that in the front lines in this country, I have seen that everything in this country is utilized for a commercial economic opportunity. And there will be victims. I've seen somebody who was in the Niger Delta as a captain of a security ship boat. He told me that they prayed therefore that the security situation in Niger should not abate because they make a lot of money now. So we need to be careful.
All right,
let's take this call.
Uche is calling from Abia. Good morning, Uche. Good to hear from you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Let me tell you a guest. The statement of Akpabio is an indictment on the government he is part of. Insecurity will do what? Will sizzle away after election. And they are warning them, telling us that, opponents, political opponents are causing the problem. And government knows that. Even Gumi said that government knows the people that are causing this problem. So they want to finish, part of the Nigeria from leaving before they will leave office. You like Akpabio, you like Mr. President, but their policies, look at the kind of borrowing. During that you have, review, you will see how much Nigeria is owing because of what? Akpabio. Because he is the president of the Senate. Whatever that the president said, they will just, accept it without questioning. And we are indebted because of the kind of people he likes, both the president and Akpabio. It's a pity the way we are analyzing things. Rather than cautioning them, the way they are, running government, it's not for our own betterment. Let them, pick up what they are doing is wrong. Everybody knows that the way they are running Nigeria is not going to work. Nigeria are dying. People are suffering. You can't talk about life. This is the president that said he will give us light in 4 years. He's now going to 4 years. This is 3 years plus. There is no light everywhere. People are running to solar. And Aso Rock is on solar. The man that promised you to give you light is on solar. How can he do that? without, experiencing what you people are experiencing. It's a pity the way we are praising them until they run this country down before we wake up. God bless you people.
All right. Don't despair. You might not have electricity in terms of power and light, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay,
so
all right.
You can manage that light.
Hopefully, that's daylight. But let me come to accountable. I mean, front page of the Leadership newspaper. Let's go there. IMF cuts Nigeria's 2026 growth projection to 4.1%. It was initially 4.4%. It has reduced to 4.1%. We've seen reactions saying, yes, it's because of the port of Hormuz that has also affected Nigeria. Nigeria should not despair, and so on and so forth. I mean, initially...
But there are talks that for a country that wants to be a 1 trillion economy by 2030, we should be looking at double digits.
Exactly, by now.
Rates.
And then there's also talks. The caller just highlighted that again. I mean, subsidy removed on fuel, electricity, and we have more borrowings than previous presidents.
An increased revenue drive. Every Nigerian agency is declaring record-breaking.
Yes, you have the customs,
revenue.
You have the NSC, you have all of them. Yet, all that money, Nigerians are still asking questions. Where is it? And then don't forget that Senator Tambuwal has come out to say that the fiscal policy, the fiscal, let's put it as funds that were supposed to use in 2024, 2025, 2026, have actually not been used yet. So the questions are, where are all these monies going to?
I just want to say to you that IMF cut Nigerian growth is entirely not because of local factors. So they're looking at the impact of the war. And then they're also looking at borrowings I will talk about. Why won't you borrow? You see, the money you make locally, they are not dollar funds. We're talking about dollar in order for a country to do big things. If your revenue is not as big, you realize that a lot of our oil has been mortgaged, for futures in terms of borrowing against them. And so whatever crude you sell, every barrel, first you have to pay your joint venture call. Every money for the barrel is not yours. And you've also part of that service your debt. So the inflow of dollar, it's a problem. And because we remove subsidy, the amount of dollar we spend on subsidy has reduced. That's why DDG is telling you that it would have taken 72% based on current realities. So if you don't remove subsidy, Dangote will not even have operated, because Dangote will come into a subsidy environment and he cannot sell his product to you at subsidized rate. He will sell his product to you at official rate. So at the end of the day, let us not debate removal of subsidy. Electricity, as we are speaking, the subsidy is still there. It's not removed totally. And government is paying now 3.something trillion to Gencos in order for them to be alive. Our problems...
That one is not true subsidy, though. That was
that's
debts.
what you call,
those are debts that were
it's
owed.
as a result of subsidy. No. When you subsidize, you must plug the shortfall. What does it mean? Government pays a portion of all the electricity.
Yeah, but MDAs were owing on that.
Those MDAs are part of it. Hold on. If government does not pay its bills, what happened? There's problem. Government couldn't pay them, because government doesn't have the money. Government lies that they have money. In Buhari's time, he did not remove subsidy. He kept the dollar low, and he borrowed to make sure he survives. He was borrowing, doing ways and means in order to make sure the economy looked like we are going forward. He felt that poor people will suffer if I remove subsidy. And Buhari was called a general of the poor. And he was fighting for the poor man to ensure that his life is not dislocated. So he retained the subsidy, he kept the dollar artificial at 400. He could not pay even airlines that have come to certificate.
So now that the subsidy has been removed, where is the benefit to?
Good. The benefit Nigerians? Is what Adede is telling you, that your reserve is going to 50.
No, for ordinary Nigerians, because prices of things have tripled.
I'm coming to ordinary Nigerian. The ordinary Nigerian has been...
There are 20 million children out of school.
All right, you know what?
Okay.
Let's hold.
The question is, our problems will not be solved immediately because we have removed subsidy. It is government, it is that innovation to use what we now have for the benefit of people. That's the problem. That's where Tinubu, the innovation, the strategy. So if anybody is coming to rule Nigeria now, let him tell Nigerians that all the monies we are making, this is my way of getting it to you. So if they don't tell you that, because already the government is making more money, as you are hearing, all agencies, they have just opened the revenue house. It means that Tinubu reforming to make sure he gets money. Governors are saying we're actually getting more money. But how does the money come to the people? Because the Nigerian governors over the years were not governing.
All right, we have a caller. We have a caller. Let's hear from our audience. We have a call coming in. Good morning. Thank you very much for calling, Paul. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. All right, Paul, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have few questions to ask the guest there. What was the economic profit of SAP, Structural Adjustment Program, during IGD time, which IMF applauded at the Nigerian economy? But at the end of the day, discovered that brought down the value of Naira and even made Nigeria poorer than it was before. Then the whole money that has been recovered, if you look at international news and cross-check, since this Iranian war, countries that are in the same category with Nigeria in terms of oil production, they have removed taxation. Look at even Ghana here. They removed fuel taxation so that it could be affordable to their citizens. Why is it that after the removal of subsidy, in this present war U.S. is having with Iraq, the president did not think it wise to remove taxation from the fuel so that Nigerians will not face this kind of hardship we are facing today. And those who are benefiting from this government do not see the suffering of Nigerians. That Nigerians are dying on second basis. Okay, look at what is happening to our military. Look at the confession of our military personnel, what they are going through. The budget that have not been implemented 2024, 2025, and even this year, where is those trillions of naira? Look at the coastal road, budgeted about 17 trillion. We are not seeing the effect of these things. We are hearing money, but the evidence of this money is not showing in the life of Nigerians. How can Asu Rock disengage from the national grid? How can Donald Trump disengage White House from the national grid? Be using a private setting because solar electricity is a private setting. It's not national. And you promise us that you are going to give us light. Does Asu Rock not include in that that he promised Nigerians?
For your comments.
Very loaded from Paul. What I want to answer quickly, the movement of the Asu Rock, and not that they moved out, they also set up an alternative source of power because Nigerian electricity sector is privatized. It is privatized. From GENCOs to DISCOs, only the transmission point that the federal government has held down, that is still a problem in this whole value chain. That's why anytime they put more than 5,000, 3,000 megawatts on the grid, it collapses. Because for many years, 40 years, this country that is called Nigeria failed to improve its grids, its capacity to carry power.
But this administration promised that they'll fix that.
Tinubu told you that it will do everything to give us power. If it doesn't give you power, for now, I will say yes because I see 24 hours. But for many, I'm talking.
In this,
yes, I live.
Which area?
I live in the mainland, and I have 24 hours where I live. For security, hold on, I'm coming. I speak with the confidence. Whoever sees me, whoever is watching me and knows me.
But it's in Lagos State.
I'm in Lagos. I'm coming. I'm just speaking to you that the generality of Nigerians that do not have power, President promised you. So you must also react to him based on his promise. He also said in that promise, which part of the video they don't show, that if I come to you and I give you reason why, and you do not accept, make your decision. He also made a proviso that he will explain. What is the explanation? The president said he set up GAMCO in order for him to look at the grid asset management company because the grid is my problem. The DISCOs are not within my control. The GENCOs are not within my control. I came to inherit 6.something trillion, which they have presented before government. I have to do audit to get it to 3.something.
Who inherited that?
It's government. From government is privatization.
Is it not still APC?
No,
8 years?
Jonathan Obasanjo designed the privatization road model. Jonathan implemented it, and debt has been accumulating. It's not today. So the debt we owe the electricity sector has caught up with us. We've got to pay. The DISCOs were incapacitated. They are not competent enough to run electricity in Nigeria. They did not have the resources. So for so long, because of the subsidy, no bank could touch them. So we have, don't go to the electricity. It's not simplistic. That's why no. Our electricity problem is hydra.
So what's the way forward?
But we're sure that the president knew all of that.
Yeah, very big. Yeah. So I'm talking about the issue of SAP. SAP was a program of the IMF that was implemented by the military, but it was not implemented till the end. So we did not get the result.
Can you name one country where the IMF has intervened?
Some countries, a few countries, especially
better
the Asian tigers have sustained because of discipline. You know, one of the things that you need to implement an IMF program is discipline and sacrifice. These two attributes.
So do we have it here in Nigeria?
No, we don't have discipline.
Okay, we don't have it.
We don't have a spirit of sacrifice.
Okay.
We want to dance into prosperity.
We need to head out of this.
It takes pain to get to that.
IMF is
the Asian tigers,
anti-progressive.
our person. If you ask, what's the name of that woman?
And I don't think Asian
that woman
tigers.
who used to be finance minister.
Okonjo-Iweala.
No, the other one.
Mohammed?
No, our lady from the East. The activist, her name just escaped me now. Absolutely. She was in the World Bank.
She wasn't finance minister.
No, she was in the World Bank, and she was one of those that worked in that part of the world. She gave a testimony. Discipline and sacrifice. If your people don't have it, don't go to IMF.
The sacrifice we made
just a minute. What Tinubu is suffering, he went on with huge reforms, which Nigeria needs. But whether the citizens can bear it is coming now to face election. This will be the test, because your reforms are now going to be tested at the polls.
If in 5 seconds, can you give us an example of areas where electricity has improved? Because people are asking.
Yes, I have, first of all, somebody who lives in River Valley spoke to me yesterday that when people say they don't have light, she doesn't understand what they're saying.
Okay, one person.
I'm coming off one person. Okay. So it is one person and myself. And I know that many people, I went to Delta, they don't have electricity. Many of the places I was, the owners of hotels are all suffering, I understand. But getting out of the national grid and having solar is not wrong. It's a very good economic decision because,
all right,
finally, the United States White House also has solar. So it's not as if they don't have solar. So don't say they don't have solar.
You have heard it. Please go on YouTube and tell us if you have light, if the electricity in your area has improved. We'll get your comment and we will start the conversation.
It's really bad.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful
day. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Every afternoon, get in on the action with In the Game, News Central's home for everything sports. From the heart-stopping moments on the pitch to exclusive interviews with some of the biggest names in the sports industry and professional analysis you can trust. We bring you the stories, the highlights, and the passion every day. Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays at 11 a.m. Football, tennis, rugby, basketball, and more. If it's making headlines, it's In the Game. Don't miss a minute. Only on News Central.
Everywhere across Nigeria, with news coverage driven by the quest for solutions, News Central brings you the stories that matter.
Bringing you major headlines and latest developments from the creeks of the Niger Delta, South Nigeria. I am Austin Azu.
Live from the Federal Capital Territory, I am Joshua Imarai, bringing you exclusive insights and updates straight from Abuja.
Covering the ongoing developments and triumphs of the Northeast, I am Umaru Kirawa, live from Borno.
Bringing you stories of growth and resilience from the Southeast. I am Chinwe Ukele.
In the intensity of Nigeria's middle belt, I am Chizoba Anyowe, bringing you stories of diversity and latest happenings from Jos.
With a dedicated team of reporters across the nation, News Central is empowering viewers to shape the future of their communities. Because your story is our mission. Stay informed, stay connected with News Central. with fearless reporting on what matters most.
Get ready to dial up entertainment with Take 3.
Catch the latest news and gist, as well as celebrity interviews. And let's not forget, of course, the exclusive behind-the-scenes access and more.
Take 3 is your one-stop shop for all things entertainment. Now I'm talking music, movies, live events, and of course the trending stories.
And delve into the world of entertainment like never before.
For decades, bonus disputes have become an unwelcome constant in the story of Nigeria's national football teams, particularly the Super Eagles and the Super Falcons. Across major tournaments and qualifiers, issues surrounding unpaid match bonuses and allowances have resurfaced, often at critical moments, disrupting preparations and drawing attention away from football matters. In October 2004, Super Falcons refused to leave their hotel in South Africa, insisting that a $6,000 per player bonus be settled for beating Cameroon in the WAFCON final. In December 2016, the team staged a sit-in protest in Abuja Hotel after failing to receive allowances and bonuses after winning their 8th WAFCON title with a hard-fought 1-0 win over hosts Cameroon. Then in 2019, they held another sit-in in their hotel over unpaid bonuses and allowances after the last 16 defeat by Germany at the FIFA Women's World Cup. The men have not fared better. One of the most high-profile incidents occurred during the 2019 African Cup of Nations in Egypt, where Super Eagles players protested over outstanding entitlements. The standoff forced the team to boycott a pre-match press conference and report late for training ahead of their Group B fixture against Guinea, placing Nigeria under intense international scrutiny.
I think we need to get the right set of people to handle our football. Because although you might want to argue that we have strong football administrators or sporting administrators heading the National Sports Commissioner, but when it comes to Nigerian Football Federation, in my opinion, I think we need getting people that understand how this player thinks. We also need to get people to follow these little details and put them ahead of anything, because it's so unheard of that in 2026 we are still talking about bonuses of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I mean, for crying out loud, the set of Okosha 94-96, they complain about the same thing, and if you are still here today, it shows that we are not improving when it comes to administrative role in Nigeria. It's sad, but it's something I feel like the government needs to probably get the right people and put them in place.
The way it works, first off, when it's a tournament, the Nigerian Football Federation don't handle the bonuses of the players. It's basically coming from the federal government through the National Sports Commission or Ministry of Sports, as we had in the past. And when this is being sorted, then they would now have it applied for. So when it's applied for, you know how it is in Nigeria, the bureaucracies where you have to go through the Accountant General's office, goes through the Ministry of Finance. Now, before it gets to the National Sports Commission, then eventually it's disbursed to the NFF. So those processes take a bit of time.
Years later, similar scenes played out during the 2026 FIFA World Cup African qualifiers when players again refused to train over unpaid allowances, insisting they would not return to the pitch until the issue was addressed. In a viral social media clip from the Home Tough podcast, ex-international Yakubu Aigbeni recounted the same ordeal during his time as a Super Eagles striker.
I think these boys, they're nice guys, because you can't play games for 31 games or how many years haven't been paid, you still play. When you get players like Olisa and Kanu and Njiji, no chance. They will go strike. Even when we come to national team, let's just say, look, before game, if we not get our ticket money, and daily allowance is like $100 now. So if we not get them before that game, we not will play. The money will come out. So not be a new thing.
The recurring nature of these disputes has fueled questions about administrative planning and whether there is a deeper mistrust between players and football authorities. During the African Cup of Nations in Morocco, the issue took center stage once more. Reports emerged that players were unhappy over delayed bonus payments ahead of a crucial knockout fixture threatening to disrupt preparations. Authorities moved quickly to calm the situation. National Sports Commission Chairman Shehu Diko confirmed that the matter had been resolved, attributing the delay to bureaucratic process and assuring that the funds were already being processed. While such interventions often avert immediate crises, analysts argue they highlight a broader structural problem. Critics say the lack of pre-arranged payment frameworks, clear timelines and transparent communication continues to expose the team to avoidable distractions.
I think there's a procedure that we need to change. You see, there's this bureaucratic system that we have in place, all right, whereby funds are not released on time, for the sports team. It's not only the Super Eagles that are affected. We always hear stories about the athletics or boxers, So I think we have a structural challenge in terms of the procedure for releasing funds for our sports teams. Unfortunately, most of our teams rely largely on government funding. If we had enough private funding, before government funding comes in, at least the funding from private sector will be able to take the team, far. For example, this tournament, there's a guarantee that if you get to a particular level, there's a payment that is going to come from CAF. So I think that is something that the NFF can work with. Even if the government funding is not coming on time, that's a guarantee that they can take to a bank. If you have to take a loan, you take a loan, just to make sure that we don't have the kind of embarrassment that we usually have whereby funds are not released on time, players have to protest, they have to go on strike. It's not good for our nation, it's not good for our image. So I think that is something that the NFF will need to work on.
Many believe lasting solutions lie in proactive administration, ensuring bonuses are secured and disbursed before tournaments begin, rather than addressed under pressure. As the Super Eagles continue to represent Nigeria on the continental and global stage, the call for improved governance grows louder. Beyond talent and tactics, consistent success also depends on sound administration, and until those lapses are fully addressed, the bonus robe may remain an unending chapter in Nigerian football. In Lagos for News Central, Favour Itwa.
Hello and welcome. You're watching News Central Television. It's time for News Central Now. I am Judith Atibi, and here are the top stories at this hour. The federal government drops terrorism financing case against former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. The Nigerian Airlines warn of nationwide shutdown as jet fuel prices skyrocket by over 300%. Pakistan's army chief arrives in Tehran as part of diplomatic efforts to restart stalled talks between Iran and the U.S. Details shortly. The federal government has amended charges against former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and his son, Abdulaziz, removing allegations related to terrorism financing. The prosecution presented a revised charge focusing on unlawful possession of firearms. At the court session, counsel to the Department of State Services informed the court of the amendment and requested substitution of the initial charge. The defendants pleaded not guilty after the amended charge was read in court. The presiding judge upheld existing bail conditions earlier granted in February. In a related development, a U.S. lawmaker representing Florida District Kimberly Daniels has called for the immediate redeployment of Nigeria's Minister of State, Bello Matawalle, over allegations of complicity and sabotaging Nigeria's efforts against banditry. Daniels, who also serves as the chairwoman of the Supreme Council of the United World Congress of Diplomats, posted on her X handle, releasing a comprehensive assessment of Nigeria's security crisis in relation to alleged genocide of Christians in Nigeria and a report addressing the escalating wave of terrorism and recent mass killings in Nigeria's north central and northwestern regions. The federal and Borno state governments have paid glowing tribute to fallen heroes of Nigeria's armed forces, acknowledging their sacrifices in the ongoing fight against insurgency in the northeast region. Borno State Governor Professor Mohamed Babangana Zulum and the Minister of Defense General Christopher Musa declared that the era of defensive operations was over. News Central's Umar Kirawa has the story.
From the difficult terrains in the fringes of the Lake Chad to the harsh weather conditions, soldiers and officers in Nigeria's northeast pushed to ensure safety of the area. Brigadier General Usaini Prema and other soldiers paid the supreme price. The government praised their dedication, noting that their sacrifices will not be in vain as efforts to secure the region intensify.
We share in your grief and sorrows. The Federal Government of Nigeria, under the distinguished leadership of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the sub-nationals will come together with a view to providing the necessary assets that will protect the officers and men of the Nigerian Armed Forces as well as the civilians. The Northern Governors Forum and indeed the Northeast Governors Forum are currently making a frantic effort to complement the efforts of the federal government. As our immediate support to the family in order to cushion the immediate effect, Borno State government will release a sum of 50 million naira to all of you.
To the families of our beloved and gallant comrades, we say your loved ones did not die in vain. They stood for honor, duty, and country. Their legacy will continue to inspire the living and guide the future of our armed forces.
Beyond tribute, strong words followed as the armed forces leadership signaled a renewed determination to end terrorism decisively.
It is your turn to go after them. It is your turn to take them down. And especially those supporting them with information, with logistics, with encouragement, whether online or offline. You are all part of the bandits and the terrorists and the insurgents. And like we said repeatedly, the friend of a thief is a thief. If we are caught with them, assisting them in one way or the other, whatever comes your way, be ready to have it.
You will never walk alone, I promise you that. God bless the armed forces of Nigeria. God bless Nigeria, and God bless us all.
Nigeria's Minister of Defense, General Musa, ordered for intensified operations aimed at flushing out remaining terrorist elements and their networks across the country. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
City Police Command says that it has arrested 14 suspects for crimes including car theft, armed robbery, and one-chance operations across its divisions in Mabushi, Durumi, and Maitama, and the Central Police Station within the last 3 weeks. The Commissioner of Police, Ahmed Sanusi, during the parade of the suspects, says that the arrests led to the recovery of 17 stolen vehicles and the rescue of 2 one-chance victims. He adds that one suspect was arrested with a gunshot wound, while the 2 others fled the scene of their crime.
The suspects arrested include Mustafa Difcha, Ahmed Difcha, unfortunately, Sanusi Isa, because I am Sanusi. The suspects arrested include Mustafa Difcha, Ahmed Difcha. Unfortunately, Sanusi Isa, because I am Sanusi, so it's unfortunate. John Emmanuel, Blessed Yusuf, Chinaza Ijere, Joshua Luka Dangana, Mohammed Sabiu, Zakaria Liman, Babajo Ishaya, Colinius Abang, Sani Kabiru, Gambo Ibrahim, Jakuta Kandoke Ibrahim. The vehicles recovered here paraded. I think maybe you will take a view of the vehicles after my presentation.
You're watching News Now. Let's go on a short break. There's more after the break. Stay with us.
The youth has 60% of its entire population, and it's time for their voices to be heard, loud and clear. Involving the young people in nation building is not merely a question of inclusion, but one that is vital for economic growth, innovation, peace, and security. Fafanua Africa provides the platform for the teeming young and vibrant population of our dear continent to voice their concerns with one goal in mind. Provide profound and tangible solutions that will help redefine and reposition the future of Africa. Join us every Friday at 2 p.m. West African Time, 4 p.m. East African Time, and 3 p.m. Central African Time on News Central TV. Fafanua Africa, redefining Africa.
Welcome back. Airline operators in Nigeria have warned of a possible nationwide shutdown starting April 20th, 2026 over a sharp increase in Jet A1 fuel prices. The operators say the cost of aviation fuel has surged by over 300% in just weeks, describing the hike as unsustainable and far above global trends. They note that airlines have absorbed the rising cost for weeks, but can no longer continue as revenues are insufficient to cover fuel expenses. The group warns that continued price hikes could cripple the aviation sector, disrupt livelihoods, and impact national security. Airline operators are now calling on fuel marketers and government authorities to urgently intervene and stabilize prices to avert a shutdown. And out to politics, as the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has declared that the 2027 presidential election will mark the end of his long-standing ambition to lead Nigeria as president. Atiku made the statement during an interview where he confirmed that the 2027 general election will be his final attempt at presidency after decades of seeking the nation's top office since 1992. Responding to questions about why Nigerians should support him after multiple unsuccessful bids and concerns over his age, the former vice president said Nigeria's core challenge remains leadership. In a twist of events, the leadership of the ADC in Adamawa State has suspended top members of the party. Now, at a press conference in the capital, the state capital, Yola, a factional chairman of the party, Mohammed Raji, announced the suspension of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, and other party officials over their alleged roles in fostering dishonesty and creating a parallel structure in the party.
The leadership of the ADC in Adamawa State hereby announces the immediate suspension of the following individuals from the party. 1. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Waziri Adamawa. Engineer David Baba Lawal, Vice Chairman Northeast, Barrister Sadiq Ibrahim Dasin, Transition Committee Chairman. Those individuals are suspended for their roles in fostering disunity, creating parallel structure, undermining law authority, and disregarding a subsiding court order.
The Oyo State government has confirmed a case of Lassa fever at the University College Hospital in Ibadan involving a 44-year-old woman who sadly passed away. Health authorities say laboratory confirmation was received 2 days after her death, prompting an immediate emergency response. The State Ministry of Health has activated its incident management system and began contact tracing to contain the spread of the disease. Residents are being urged to report symptoms such as persistent fever, weakness, vomiting, or unexplained bleeding and seek prompt medical care. Officials reassure the public that the situation is under control and emphasize that Lassa fever is both preventable and treatable when detected early. Attention in Kogi State has been drawn to the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Now, this is as residents say the pressure to earn a living often takes priority over their physical and mental well-being. News Central's Moino Balabubu reports.
On a day set aside to promote healthy living, the reality for many residents in Lokoja tells a different story. From early morning hustle to late night returns, the demands of daily survival are leaving little room for rest, exercise, or proper health care.
To start from the top, to come to work, look for money, that's number one. And secondly, make profit, and I think that's all for now.
My work, if you come anytime. Since morning outside day, anytime we work come, I go come. If work no come, I rest for house.
Due to this Okada work, it's very occupied. You cannot make way, but we'll try to make way so that we can be going to hospital to check ourselves.
While some say rest depends on when work allows, for others, even the idea of rest is a luxury.
I just manage myself. I don't have husband again. I'm a widow. I don't have husband again. I used to manage my life small that I have. I don't even have anybody for help.
For many, wellness is not a priority, but a routine shaped by economic necessity.
An average Nigerian problem is money. If you have money, you can take very good care of yourself by eating a balanced diet, eating good food, eating fruit. Fruit is not very expensive. Apple is sold for 500 naira, 600 naira.
Experts say this pattern, if left unchecked, could have serious health implications.
If you are not healthy, you cannot hustle. So we need nothing less than 6 to 7 hours of sleep to have to reset the body chemistry and activity so that you can get up okay and fit for the next day hustle.
The social aspect is what is even giving the medical personnel a lot of problem. Because of that lapses in social aspect of wellness, that's why we are experiencing a lot of people going to the hospital these days.
As conversations around wellness grow globally, here in Kogi, many say staying healthy is no longer just a choice, but a challenge shaped by circumstance. In Kogi for News Central, Mono Balagugu.
And now to update from the Middle East, as Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir has arrived in Iran as part of a high-level diplomatic effort to restart stalled talks between Iran and the United States. The visit comes amid escalating tensions in the region, with Iran's military warning it could block key trade routes across the Red Sea, the Gulf and the Sea of Oman as well. Now, if the ongoing U.S. naval blockade on its ports continues, the U.S. military says it has effectively halted maritime trade into and out of Iran, maintaining a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz for a second consecutive day. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has indicated that the conflict may be nearing an end, hinting at a possible second round of face-to-face talks with Iran, potentially to be hosted in Pakistan in the coming days. Meanwhile, there are signs of diplomatic movement in the Middle East, but also clear warnings that the situation remains dangerously fragile. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump says fresh talks with Iran could resume within days, while Israel and Lebanon have agreed to open rare direct negotiations. But with violence continuing on the ground and tensions still high, the question is whether this is a genuine breakthrough or just a pause in a very widening conflict as we see today. Well, our senior international correspondent Afia Hagen has the latest on this story. Take a look.
The Gulf region may be inching towards diplomacy, but the path to peace remains fragile. U.S. President Donald Trump says fresh talks with Iran could resume within days, raising hopes of a breakthrough after earlier negotiations collapsed. Speaking to U.S. media, Trump suggested a new round of talks could take place in Pakistan within the next 2 days, as Washington pushes for what it calls a grand bargain to end the conflict. At the same time, a rare diplomatic opening between Israel and Lebanon. After decades of hostility, the two sides have agreed to launch direct negotiations following talks in Washington, the first high-level contact of its kind since 1993. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who mediated the meeting, called it a historic opportunity. But even as diplomats talk, fighting continues. Hezbollah fired rockets into northern Israel as the talks began, highlighting the deep divisions that remain. The Iran-backed group has rejected negotiations outright, whilst Israel insists it will not accept any deal that leaves Hezbollah intact. Meanwhile, pressure on Tehran is intensifying. The US claims it has effectively halted Iran's maritime trade through a naval blockade, though shipping data suggests vessels are still moving through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has condemned the move as piracy, warning of wider consequences if its ports are threatened. At the heart of any deal remains a major sticking point, Iran's nuclear program. Washington is demanding a long-term halt to uranium enrichment, whilst Tehran is offering only a temporary pause, leaving both sides far apart. Despite that, a fragile truce between the US and Iran still holds for now, and there are signs of cautious optimism. Markets have rallied, oil prices have dipped, and world leaders, from Europe to the United Nations, are urging all sides to seize what may be a narrow window for peace. But with violence ongoing and trust in short supply, the question remains whether this moment leads to a lasting deal or another collapse in diplomacy. For News Central, I'm Afia Hagen.
United States President Donald Trump says China has agreed not to supply weapons to Iran following direct engagement with President Xi Jinping. Trump stated that he received personal assurances from the Chinese leader and indicated that both sides are maintaining communication amid ongoing geopolitical tensions involving Iran. The U.S. leader also linked the development to his decision to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, describing the move as beneficial to global trade and energy supply routes. Super Eagles head coach Eric Chile has signaled a broader selection approach ahead of the 2026 Unity Cup in London, opening the door for informed Nigeria Premier Football League players and uncapped footballers of Nigerian descent abroad. The tournament, which is scheduled for May 26th to 30th of May at the Valley, home of Charlton Athletic, will see Nigeria defend the title they won in the previous edition against Jamaica, Zimbabwe, and India. Chile said the competition, which falls outside the FIFA international window, will be used to assess the new talent and expand the national team pool, while established stars are expected to return for June friendlies against Portugal and Poland. He also revealed plans to monitor NPFL matches closely and scout eligible players across Europe, stressing the need to build depth and sustain competitiveness. The president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Musa Gusau, has reaffirmed the body's commitment to improving refereeing standards in the country. Now, speaking in Abuja during a meeting with the new Nigeria Referees Association leadership, he urged strict reforms in recruitment, including age limits, academic qualifications, and computer literacy. Gusau also stressed the need to develop referees from a young age to ensure long-term growth and global competitiveness. He also revealed plans to train at least 10 Nigerian referees in VAR technology before year's end. NFF General Secretary Mohammed Sanusi called for tougher action against poor officiating, while NRA Acting President Kelechi Mijiobi also pledged stricter sanctions to uphold integrity and professionalism. And that's it we can take for this hour. Before we go, let's take another look at some of our major stories today. Starting with the federal government of Nigeria has now dropped terrorism financing case against its former Attorney General of the Federation, and that's Abubakar Malami. Also in Nigeria, airlines are now warning of nationwide shutdown as jet fuel prices have skyrocketed by over 300%. And as the Middle East conflict continues to brew, Pakistan's army chief has now arrived in the capital of Iran, Tehran, as part of diplomatic efforts to restart stalled talks between Iran and the U.S. Now, do remember that you can send us your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number up on the screen. You can also send it to us on social media. Just tag us. We're at News Central TV across every platform. Watch us live on DSTV, channel 422, on GoTV, channel 23. We're also on StarTimes, channel 274. Find us on Apple TV and stream us live on YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Judith at TV. Bye for now.
Jasiri is where the conversation starts. We amplify diverse voices and challenge narratives.
Bringing societal issues to the fore. This is where everyone has a voice.
That perception that I have your type at home, actually four of your type at home, it starts to shift just because you are like, well, this my type is right here.
Exactly.
We break barriers and bridge generational divides.
So who is going to make Gen Z believe that it is giving?
I love it. She
said it. To speak your native language.
Silence is not an option.
We are unconventional, but unique. Brace yourselves.
I had no holes in my ear until I was 14 years old.
And now how many do you have?
I have holes in places you don't want to.
Join us weekdays at 10 a.m. right here on News Central.
Every afternoon, get in on the action with In the Game, News Central's home for everything sports. From the heart-stopping moments on the pitch to exclusive interviews with some of the biggest names in the sports industry and professional analysis you can trust. We bring you the stories, the highlights, and the passion every day. Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays at 11 a.m. Football, tennis, rugby, basketball, and more. If it's making headlines, it's In the Game. Don't miss a minute. Only on News Central.
Get ready to dial up entertainment with Take 3.
Catch the latest news and gist, as well as celebrity interviews. And let's not forget, of course, the exclusive behind-the-scenes access and more.
Take 3 is your one-stop shop for all things entertainment. Now I'm talking music, movies, live events, and of course the trending stories.
and delve into the world of entertainment like never before.
Everywhere across Nigeria, with news coverage driven by the quest for solutions, News Central brings you the stories that matter.
Bringing you major headlines and latest developments from the creeks of the Niger Delta, South Nigeria. I am Austin.
Live from the Federal Capital Territory, I am Joshua Imarai, bringing you exclusive insights and updates straight from Abuja.
Covering the ongoing developments and triumphs of the Northeast, I am Umaru Kirawa, live from Borno.
Bringing you stories of growth and resilience from the Southeast. I am Chinwe Ugele.
In the intensity of Nigeria's middle belt, I am Chizoba Anyowe, bringing you stories of diversity and latest happenings from Jos.
With a dedicated team of reporters across the nation, News Central is empowering viewers to shape the future of their communities. Because your story is our mission. Stay informed, stay connected with News Central, with fearless reporting on what matters most.
Response to live happenings.
Factual content as truthful reporting is at the heart of our responsibility.
This is the site of where the building collapse happened at about 4-5 yesterday evening.
I am Bettina Onwili. This is News Central.
Hello and welcome to Literati. It's where we delve into the world of literature, African stories, and showcasing the brightest and rising African storytellers, poets, and writers. I'm your host, Judith Atibi. On today's show, we'll be reviewing the highly anticipated sequel to an international selling debut novel, In Every Mirror, She's Black, written by my guest, who I will be introducing shortly. But first, let's get into the sequel. It's titled Everything Is Not Enough, which follows the lives of 3 black women as they fight their personal struggles in one of the most egalitarian societies. It's Sweden. Everything Is Not Enough interrogates themes of place, prejudice, and patriarchy in Europe. And so let me welcome my guest. In Everything Is Not Enough, it's written by Lola Akinmade Akestrom. She's a Nigerian-American author, speaker, and photographer based in Sweden. Her work has appeared in National Geographic, Traveler, the BBC, CNN, Guardian, Sunday Times, Daily Telegraph, New York Times, and Lonely Planet, among others. She's the author of award-winning non-fiction book, Due North, and bestseller Lagom, The Swedish Secret of Living Well. Everything Is Not Enough is a second novel. Lola, I want to say many thanks for joining me today. Appreciate you for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much. So honored to be here.
And congratulations on your book. I must say, once again, congratulations on the sequel. And, you know, I'm so excited. I waited to see how this characters that I've come to love so dear come to an end. And I'm so happy I did this. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, I must ask, right? I want you to start from the beginning. A sequel from what is an international bestseller. And that book sells. I would tell you that for free. So tell us about, you know, the journey of writing Everything Is Not Enough, you know, from finishing the first debut to the, you know, in every mirror she's black, you know, from conception to publishing.
No, absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's just a huge honor to be here. Now, in Every Mirror She's Black, that was my debut novel, and I really wanted to write the stories of 3 very different black women, very different backgrounds, different values, different religions, different socioeconomic classes, to see what it's like to live in a society where you're tired of surviving and you just want to thrive.
Right.
You know, and by putting 3 women together, I also wanted to give them the privilege of being individuals, because as black women, we're always seen as monolithic. Like, you know, if one black woman makes a mistake, then it's everybody. You know, if one African makes a mistake, then it's all Africans. So I wanted to give them the privilege of making mistakes, of finding grace, and being able to be better when they know better. Now, when the first novel ended, it ended on pretty much on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it was.
And I said their stories, they're just about to start self-actualizing. I cannot leave these women on this cliffhanger. And so that is why I had to finish the sequel, right?
Yes.
And I'd already started writing the sequel before I finished the first book. So I knew there was going to be a continuation of their stories. Yeah.
That is amazing. Well, thank you so much for not leaving us on the cliffhanger, I must say, because when I finished Everything Is Black, I mean, this was, what, 2021? Yeah. I said, I was like, Lola, please give me something. What happens? You know? So when we saw the press release that Everything Is Not Enough is coming and it's a sequel, I'm like, that's my girl. Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing is, you know, with this book, even though it's a sequel, it can also be read standalone, right? So it's like, if a reader reads this, then they want to know where they came from. You know, and I always say this second book is more about the reader than it is about the characters, because you're meeting the characters in the second book in the middle of their mistakes, being very messy. And so for the reader, are you going to approach them through stereotypes? Are you going to give them grace to do better when they know better? So it really challenges the reader, the second book.
Now, I must say, right, without a question of a doubt, Everything Is Not Enough follows the messy lives of these women. When I say messy, I mean messy. We have, you know, come to love these women, by the way, and we kind of understand them. We're also rooting for them. And the central theme for the book is, you know, for this book is these characters finding their place in this, you know, in this new place that they now want to call home. So talk to me about the importance of this, of finding your place, but most importantly, did you draw inspiration from yourself as an immigrant in Sweden and trying to find your place in Sweden as well?
No, absolutely, absolutely. You know, they always say that the story you're kind of meant to write is oftentimes closer to you than you think. Right?
Well, there you go.
And I've lived in Sweden for 14 years. I know the language, I know the culture. I'm also a travel writer, and I'm so invested in getting beneath the nuances of culture.
Right.
Why are we different? What makes us similar? Why do we have to be different? And then also being a Black African woman in a very white-dominated space. Again, pulling a lot of experiences, and I always say that all the characters are not me, but they're also me in a sense, right? And so with this book, I really wanted to show through each character that nothing you do will ever be enough if you are looking for validation in somebody else's gaze, right? So everything will never be enough because you're not the one setting the rules and you're looking for validation in somebody else's gaze. So you might as well start looking inward and finding that place of contentment in your own life and then choosing how you want to show up in the world, you know? I'm an idealist. I wish everything, you know, it was, the world was a utopia, there was peace. But
that's the bane of my existence.
But reality is maybe not in our lifetime. So what can you do right now to try and find some inner peace, some inner joy, so you can at least live a full life against all odds? all odds. So
yeah, that's beautiful. Now, speaking about all against all odds, is love and romantic relationship.
Yes.
You know, people like us, we're still trying to navigate that. But love and romantic relationship was another theme that you explore very well in this book. We saw the different facets of, love and relationship, especially with these women and their lives and how they navigate the relationship. And so I have to ask you about that. In you exploring this, can you... can women have it all? This is a question to ask. You explore the different facets of these love life of these women. So can women have it? Can we have it all when it comes to love and relationship?
I'm an idealist, so I want to say yes. And I think it was Oprah Winfrey that said, you can have it all, but not all at the same time. And I don't know, I don't have the full answer to that, but I do know that these women are deserving of whatever they want in life to make them feel full, to make them feel self-actualized, if it means, just an incredible love. Yes, they deserve that as well. And so what I wanted to do in this book was pair the women with very challenging male counterparts. And I always hear readers always tell me that all the men in your book need like a separate book.
Oh, yeah,
so they can get into their heads.
I have a list, or I have a list of the people that she needs to talk about.
I love that.
Starting with Johan.
Mr. Johan.
London.
Yes.
I need a book on this man and all the women he's been with, because why?
Why? Because that's again the thing about always looking for validation in somebody else's case, right? So Johan, without giving anything away, he had kind of a traumatic past, in a relationship, and is the kind of guy that needs to always have a closed look. So that whatever he experienced in the past wasn't closed, and so it's always trying to find what will close that loop for him.
Right.
And that was kind of what set him on his own journey.
Right.
This way, and without giving anything away, because you have to read.
Yeah, because we have to read the book. Go get the book today. and besides, just love. Let's even just talk about the characterization of this novel. Yeah. It's written from a woman's or a female perspective.
Yes.
And I have to ask, what influenced this choice? Because you just said, you'd have written it, all the other men, also the people are asking for these books about from this man's perspective. But why did you choose the female gaze in telling this story?
Because I'm not just even the female gaze, the black woman female gaze. Because what I wanted to show, just how complex and deep we are as well, right? Society likes to kind of maybe paint us as a caricature or maybe make us more one-dimensional. If I'm having a bad day, then she's being cranky and aggressive instead of assertive, And there's so many stereotypes that are built around kind of strong black women. And so with this book, I wanted to show from their gaze to say, you know what? Yes, I can be strong. Yes, I can be confident. But you know what? I also need tenderness too. I also need to be taken care of too. I can also feel jealousy, I can feel lust and love. And so I wanted to show the women as just really deep, complex characters.
Right.
To fight against what society keeps projecting as just one-dimensional characters.
And these women, they were also very diverse as well. These women were diverse. You had Yasmin, who's from what, Somalia?
Yes,
She's Somalian and an immigrant who moved away from home and came, found her way all the way to Sweden. Can't give away the book. There's also Brittany Ray, who's American. She's African-American. And there's also Kemi Adeyemi as well, who is Nigerian-American. And there are also other miniature characters as well who are, I think, Turkish.
Yeah,
but also
these are those Iraqi characters.
Yeah, so there are different women, very diverse, you know. And I have to ask about how you were able to develop these characters. Can you share more about the development of your characters, and how did you manage creating just very diverse women, you know?
And absolutely, and so there's so many threads to that, and they all kind of came from the first book, because the first book, I knew what 3 themes I wanted to focus on first. I wanted to focus on career, culture, and class in the Nordics, because those are kind of 3 very hot topics in the Nordics. So career, it's actually quite difficult to get a job if you don't have a Nordic-sounding name. You know, it's very difficult for a lot of people. Class, it's still quite a classist society. And then culture, because there's a big difference between assimilation and integration. So assimilation says be less Nigerian, so you can be more Swedish.
Yeah.
Integration says you can be Nigerian, Swedish. Right? And so I wanted to tackle all of those. And I knew that based on those themes, that's how the character started developing. I said, okay, I need to create a woman that tackles career, but that's also strong and powerful, and has to find a reason to move to Sweden. And that's how I came up with Kemi's character, where she's really powerful marketing exec in the US that was poached to move to Sweden. You know, so that's kind of how and then with Brittany, she had to be a former model, you know, that would catch the eye of like a super wealthy man, because it's all about looks, you know.
For them.
For them, exactly. So I needed to do that. And then with, you know, Muna and Yasmin, again, show the immigrant experience. What happens when you wear a hijab or a jilbab? How does society treat you, you know? And what boxes the society push you in.
Right.
And so that's what I wanted to do. And once I knew the themes, the characters kind of slowly came to life.
Right. And I must say, well done, because you were able to capture not just these women, but also their culture as well, and their way of life, and being able to be respectful to the history of this people's culture in this book is quite phenomenal. So well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
And I think that, you know, I am a travel writer.
Yeah, there you go.
And for me, I spend a lot of time with different cultures. And for me, it's very important, if I'm going to write about someone's culture, I have to do it with respect, with nuance, with complexity, and with reverence. And so for me, that was what I brought into this fiction writing process.
See, that's why I love you. You're watching Literati right here on News Central TV. My guest today is Lola Akimade-Ekestrom. She is the author of Everything Is Not Enough, which is what we're reviewing right here on the show. We'll take a short break. When you come back on the other side, I ask her about that love life, and better yet, more. Stay with us.
Africa needs its own storytellers, people who understand the continent because they're from it. People who know that news is more than just a conversation starter, it's our stories. Because these stories run deeper than headlines and segments. It's about digging deeper to get the facts and telling the human side of every single story, not just the echoes from foreign headlines and perspectives. It's time to take back our narratives and share them in our voices. The birth of Africa's New Age reporting, and this is where it begins, right here at News Central TV, with stories that put Africa first.
And you're welcome back to Literati right here on News Central TV. It's where we showcase the very best of African literature, stories, and poets, as well as writers as well. And I have a writer right here in the studio with me. Her name is Lola Akimade-Ekestrom, and she is the author of the book we're reviewing today, Everything Is Not Enough. It follows the very messy lives of these women and how they find their place in Sweden. And now, before the break, we were talking about a characterization of the book, you know, your writing and everything in between. And one of the things about these women is that they are strong in their own way. Yes. Okay, I don't know about Brittany, Sha. Because we have a beef. If I see Brittany, because I'm like, girl, sit down, all right? We need to talk, all right? Hold my hand when I tell you this. You know, what did you do? That's what would be myself and Brittany. Yeah. But I mean, I have to ask about these women and how determined that they were, but also how perfectly flawed that they are as well. We see them failing forward with each mistake, you know, and, you know, life's numerous curveball. I have to ask, is this your way of tackling the age-long societal notion, you know, or idea of the strong black woman? Yes. Was this your way of tackling?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, point blank, that was what I wanted to do, is show that if, for example, Kemi makes one mistake, is that it? Is she not given grace? Because we know other cultures, other people, they get so many chances to be better, to self-actualize. But Black people, African people, are not given enough of that opportunity in broader society to make mistakes, you know, and the reason is because we are not treated as individuals.
Right.
So when I make a mistake, then it's like, well, I'm representing everybody making that mistake. And so that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to really tackle with this book, is to show that, you know, the concept of the strong Black woman. Yes, we are strong, but even, and this is a Swedish proverb, but even the deepest well can also be drained.
Right.
You know, and we are some of the deepest wells in society.
Right. So. And look, you see this thing with Black women, and the thing with it is that, and I have to say this, I think that because of this notion of Black women, like you rightfully said, it hasn't given us space.
Yeah.
You know, there's this ideal that we have to be activists, we have to be, you know, champions of the society. Why can't we just be women?
Yeah.
You know, why can't we be given grace and space to not be strong? I don't want to be strong every day. I'm like, I want to cry.
Exactly.
Can I cry?
I know. I say it's like, you know, the Bridget Jones diary. We want to have our own diary. What we do nothing.
I want to be messy and clumsy, and just be me. And then, but I also think that it's also the way our society has formed us to be. Our mothers, our aunts, and maybe because they don't know any better, and I wouldn't blame them, right? But I just wish that I want to see more characters where they are messy, you know, they are clumsy, they are clueless about who they are, and people just looks at them and be like, oh, that's, you know, she's still beautiful, she's still amazing, and she gets to back the hottest guy in the room. You know,
and I'm writing those.
I can't even wait. I want to see more books like this, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. Speaking about, you know, tackling issues such as this, you tackle some very heavy themes in this book, from racism, immigration, prejudice, misogyny, I mean everything. And was this a deliberate attempt on your part, or if yes, if you chose to do this to tackle such hard-hitting issues, why did you choose that?
It's just organically part of the Black experience. So I didn't even
say that again for those in the back.
It really is. So I didn't really choose. It's just, how does it feel like to be a Black woman navigating society every day?
Right.
And these are just the issues we have to deal with.
Right.
And these are just a few I put in, you know, because at the end of the day, it's just, 24 hours in the, you know. And so for these issues, I wanted to bring them to life and say, you know, reader, how about you just walk in the shoes of these women and just see what it feels like to navigate society in their skin. So the books, you know, I always say that as a travel writer, I don't tell you go to Italy because Italy is beautiful. I never say that. I actually have to show you through my words, through my descriptions of the food and the streets and the atmosphere, why Italy is beautiful to go visit, right? So that's what I brought into this book, is being so descriptive, where you feel what these women are feeling every day, and then you're like, what? Is this how they get treated? Is this? And then the readers really feel a connection to the characters.
Right, and you do a fantastic job with that. Another, you know, issue that you tackle is that of trauma.
Yeah.
It's another theme that you do this very excellently well. Now, these women, in some way or the other, they're dealing with trauma directly or indirectly, and there's also secrets as well, which is like at the core of the plot of the story. It really drives the story, as well as mistakes and consequences. You know, and so some readers and critics, they will say, oh, I'm tired of seeing, you know, Black women tackling trauma. That's the notion we see now with readers. Like, I don't want to see one Black woman, you know, dealing with trauma. I don't want to see a Black woman dealing with issues. I beg. I just want to see light women. I mean, I also said that as well. So how would you respond to this type of criticism when you see
I would love to chase butterflies in like fields and like do nothing, right? But context matters. So I still live in the Nordics. I live in Sweden, and our stories are not being told enough. Right. So it's a place that doesn't like to highlight the struggles of others and to fully acknowledge, you know. And so for me to just write about Black joy when I know a lot of people suffering and feel like their voices are not heard, feels kind of disingenuous, right? So I will always write about, women overcoming at the end, but these are issues in society that we just have to talk about. And it's still a region that is missing a lot of literature that doesn't center like whiteness. So we have like a big, blue ocean where we need to fill with more stories of people that live there, multi-generations that are not white, but are also Swedes or Norwegian or Danish. We need to fill that big gap of stories. And for you to start dealing with problems, you actually have to name the problem and face it.
And you have to conceptualize that problem and put it out so people can see themselves in it.
So that's a show. So a lot of the readers of both In Every Mirage is Black and Everything is Not Enough are also from the Nordics, and I get the most incredible, humbling letters saying, I feel seen. I feel seen.
That's beautiful.
And I think for me, that's above everything else, is the core of what I do, both as a travel writer, even as an author, is writing stories that make people feel seen, heard, and acknowledged.
That's beautiful. Another thing about being seen is connection and community. And we see this in this book as well. It was explored beautifully. It was almost as if these women that we have come to love and root for them, we see them, not finding themselves until they connected with the community and they blossomed. Tell me more about that.
No, absolutely. And that's kind of a departure from the first book, because in the first book,
they were all
isolated, very different, so that when people thought they were going to form this kind of Charlie's Angels trio of friendship, no, because they have very different backgrounds, maybe different religions or different classes. I'm an idealist. I want everybody to sing Kumbaya, but in reality,
it's not the same.
They could, but with this book, they started finding each other. They were still not all best friends, but they could see where they could lean on each other and appreciate each other and see each other as individuals. And that's what community does, is you don't have to be besties, but you can look at each other and say, I got you. Don't worry, I got you.
That is wonderful. Well, again, congratulations and well done. Now I have to ask you, what's in store for us? Are you working on any new projects? Are you going to continue to explore similar themes? Are you, setting, do you see your writing evolving after this, this now sophomore collection or this sequel and the debut? Is it going to change? What is it like?
So I'm super excited. I'm working on lots of different book projects now. There is a book that's it's done. It's coming out next year, publication around May of next year, called Bitter Honey. And I'm super excited about that because this is a little bit of historical fiction. So I'm going back to the 1970s and early 80s, talking about what it feels like to migrate to Europe in that time, but then also in this book, I'm tackling a lot of things. I'm tackling nationalism. I'm tackling even Eurovision and just music, and so this book, Bitter Honey, I'm super excited about it. I think it's a very different book, but at the same time, such a deep character journey that I can't wait for others to discover it.
Okay, I'm excited for it. So this is the part of the show where it's called Humor Judith Game Show. Can I hear the drum rolls will go? So it's where I ask you, random questions or rapid fire questions, and you have to answer me as quickly as possible. Okay. You ready?
I'll try.
This is where I'm going to beef with you. This is where we're going to settle our scoreboard.
Let me remove
because some of the characters in this book, I was upset. I was furious, and I think we had a conversation before we went over there. So the first one I have to ask you: do you think Kainene from Half of Yellow Sun is alive? Rapid fire question, quickly.
Yes. Okay.
Poetry or short stories?
Short stories.
Long form fiction or short stories?
Long form fiction.
Oh, okay. Cinema or Netflix and chill?
Netflix and chill.
Did Kemi Adeyemi settle? Yes or no?
Yes.
I said it! Kemi Adeyemi settled, and I'm so glad that the author who wrote this character agrees with me. Because when I was reading this book here, I was like, Like, this girl settled that big. Like, so I am so happy that you finally. And why did you make her settle?
Well, because I think it was, no, absolutely. But it's also going back to that opera thing that can you have everything you want, but all at the same time. And sometimes the things we want may not be what we need. We truly, truly need. So, so I wanted to explore all of that through that character.
So she settled. She did.
in knowing the drive she had, and I think she might have, maybe that was not the best space.
That's not the best space. I think she dialed back and she settled.
Yeah. So maybe if she had moved Tobias away from that and then moved somewhere else, then I think maybe then she would kind of bloom the way she really wants.
Let me leave it here.
Yes.
Because I want to go more, but I'm going to leave it here. This has been Literati, and I hope that you've had enough fun. And if you went into girl chart, forgive us. We're just two women. We're just girls. You know what I mean? Like, we're just girls. Forgive us. But I want to say thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for joining us. And also thank you. Lola, I appreciate you for coming all the way down here in Sweden to be a guest here. And congratulations on Everything Is Not Enough. A stellar end to this beautiful women.
Thank you
and we appreciate you for writing such amazing characters. And I want to see you back here.
I'll be back.
All right, we're looking forward to the next. You got bitter honey to discuss. I can't wait for bitter honey as well. So thank you once again for coming on. Well, you can grab the book. It's Everything Is Not Enough. This has been Literati right here on News Central TV. My name is Judith the TV. Until next time, it's bye for now.
It's not just news to us, it's our voice and our story. It's our report, how we tell African stories for Africans. With detailed, timely and authentic reports, News Central is your home for true news and African stories. I am Omolola Ololade. This is News Central.
Every great day starts with a great morning, and at Breakfast Central, we understand the importance of starting your morning right.
From 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., our team is dedicated to delivering a one-of-a-kind breakfast experience with vibrant conversations, detailed analysis, comprehensive reports, and on-location updates.
Breakfast Central is for you, giving you more time for breaking news, more insights, and more of the stories that matter to you.
Start your morning the right way. Breakfast Central, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday.
It's time! Ladies and gentlemen, it's time!
Is it a party?
The cool kids are back.
Okay.
We're back in the building.
Yeah, you know that this was yesterday, so we had to do a grand entrance.
Let's not talk about yesterday.
24 hours without us. How did you people survive? How did you do it?
Well, I guess they'll have a better day today at least.
Absolutely,
yes,
we're here now.
It's a brand new day, and the entertainment world is serving everything from global controversy to deeply personal stories that have people talking. From festival fallouts making headlines in Europe to conversations closer to home sparking mixed reactions. The timelines are buzzing and the stakes feel even higher. But of course, welcome to Take 3, where we break it all down, keep it real, and bring you the stories that are shaping pop culture right now. Of course, I'm Sam Dandy, and today's lineup is global heat, let's call it that, real emotion and bold opinions.
Absolutely, I agree with you on the bold opinion, Sam. My name is Kate Adiogun, and today's hot topics are as intense as they come. France is reportedly considering a ban on Kanye West following the Wireless Festival fallout, and we are going to be unpacking that one. Now back home, cute Abiola is opening up about his wife's C-section journey. It's a story that has sparked emotional and divided reactions online.
Okay, people, I am Ekemini Jane, and the conversations do not stop there. New developments are emerging in the case of late influencer Ashley Janae, as her partner is now speaking to police in Zanzibar as a witness, raising even more questions around her tragic death. And in trending, Omalay is shaking the table. He has declared himself the greatest Afrobeats artist of the decade. And of course, the internet has a lot to say, okay? So it's a packed show with plenty to unpack. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Yes, we will.
The youth has 60% of its entire population, and it's time for their voices to be heard loud and clear. Involving the young people in nation building is not merely a question of inclusion, but one that is vital for economic growth, innovation, peace, and security. Fafanua Africa provides the platform for the teeming young and vibrant population of our dear continent to voice their concerns with one goal in mind. Provide profound and tangible solutions that will help redefine and reposition the future of Africa. Join us every Friday at 2 p.m. West African Time, 4 p.m. East African Time, and 3 p.m. Central African Time on New Central TV. Fafanua Africa, redefining Africa.
We live in a society where opinions are loud, but understanding is rare. Where conversations move fast, but truth is often left behind.
You are enough. I tell people, you're worthy of confidence, you're powerful.
So, we created a place where voices are heard, not rushed, where stories are told and not judged. This is a safe space for honest conversations for real people. From love and family to faith and leadership, culture and purpose, the conversations that shape our lives told by those living them. The Mariah Show, because every voice matters.
Welcome back to the show. You're still watching Take 3, and we're just about to get things rolling. Now, if you're waiting for the biggest stories in entertainment, that will come in a bit. But right now, joining us to break down some of the biggest global stories, or at least the biggest one, right? Making headlines this week. I mean, we've had everything from music controversy, to tragic loss and award season. But let's keep it to Kanye West. Of course, we're going to join right now by the international senior correspondent, Afia Hagen. Afia, good to have you join us on the show.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Where do we even start? French authorities, including Interior Minister Martial Mayor, are considering banning Kanye West, from performing in June. Now, this follows UK's decision to block his entry for Wireless Festival over these anti-Semitic remarks. Afia, what do we make of this?
Well, I think this is France probably following suit with what the UK did. Now, just to summarize, the Wireless situation. Kanye West was booked for the Wireless Festival to headline all 3 days of the festival. He was approved by all the organizers and the sponsors, it has to be said. Then, in the incurring backlash, the sponsors started pulling out one by one. Wireless were considering going ahead. They put out a statement saying that we're still going to go ahead. We'll just find new sponsors. Then the UK government pulled his visa, and Wireless decided enough is enough. We're just going to not have the festival at all, cancelled all 3 days. Now it comes to France, where they have a similar situation, that he is supposed to be playing at a concert in Marseille. Now, the Marseille mayor has publicly declared him not welcome, signalling strong local political backing. The concert has already been postponed, actually. So again, it's moved from public backlash to another level intervention. And this is because of comments that he has made in the past, anti-Semitic comments. Of course, he released an album called Heil Hitler. And it's not just anti-Semitic comments. He's made some pretty racist comments before in the past as well. And now this seems to be coming back to bite him on the bum, so to speak. And now that he's trying to play concerts in Europe, you have European countries saying, well, actually, we don't think that you are welcome here with the rhetoric you have spewed in the past. It is also notable that Kanye West did apologize for these comments, but he also doubled down on them. He did say that he was suffering and is still suffering with bipolar. Those are the reasons why he said those things, that he was in psychosis. But he's also doubled down on them and continued saying quite questionable things and saying that he won't medicate. So the conversation now becomes, you know, is that apology genuine? When is an apology not an apology? But also around how we decide who gets another chance and who doesn't. Because if we're going to ban people from entering countries or traveling because they've said questionable, racist, anti-Semitic things in the past, or if they have a criminal conviction. There's people in high-level government, for instance, who wouldn't be allowed into the United Kingdom. So there's a sense of, let's try and keep the same energy for people across the board. Let's not just make sure that Kanye West can't come into the country and play music. Let's make that, you know, across the board, high-level politicians, you know, anybody with a criminal conviction. Let's kind of try and make it a fair playing field, and it kind of doesn't feel that way.
What impact do you think that a, you know, French ban could have on his European tour and his public image? Like, we know that, you know, Kanye West has won to court controversy, but like, how much damage could this do to him?
Okay, I'm going to take the last part of your question first. When it comes to Kanye West, I think what to have to really remember is he does not care. He doesn't care. He will carry on being Kanye West. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care if he puts out music called Heil Hitler. He doesn't care if he's he doesn't care. It will not affect him one way or the other. It might affect his money. It might affect where he is on the Forbes 100 list, or if he can get brand collaborations, but he in himself doesn't care. In terms of an international tour, it could really affect that, because if countries one by one are saying, we don't want to have you here, we don't want to have you here, and they're pulling visas or they're cancelling concerts, then an international tour is a no-go. If no country says that they want to have you come and perform, then it's simply not going to happen.
So do you think or believe that, you know, some of these backlash that Kanye is facing right now, against him right now, do you think that they reflect genuine accountability, or is it more about protecting corporate interest or maybe public opinion in this case?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think if we were really to keep the same energy, right? So anyone who has a criminal conviction, anyone who's racist or anti-Semitic shouldn't be able to come into the UK, and I can only really speak for the United Kingdom, but shouldn't be able to come to the UK and play a concert, then that would apply to Chris Brown. That would apply to the US President Donald Trump. That would apply to a lot of people. So why is it only applying to Kanye West but not applying to others? I think that's a real question. Is it because he is anti-Semitic? Is that where we're drawing the line? So violence against women is acceptable. Making lewd remarks against women and having 34 criminal convictions is acceptable. But anti-Semitism isn't. Let's be honest, all of it is terrible. If you're anti-Semitic, that is awful. If you're racist, that is awful. If you are violent towards women, that is awful. If you have 35 criminal convictions, that is awful. Let's judge them all the same. So I think when it comes to Kanye West, it's a little bit about backlash, and it's a little bit about the fact that anti-Semitism was involved. Now, I'm not saying that just because he was anti-Semitic is the only reason why this ban has happened. But what I am saying is that we should judge everybody the same. So, criminal conviction, you're not coming in. Anti-Semitic, you're not coming in. 34 convictions, you're not coming in. Let's keep that same energy.
Afia, I want to ask this now. Of course, Kanye, everyone's aware, you know, he's bipolar. But at the same time, this is someone who's come out now to say he's trying to make ends meet. He wants apologize, you know. And this is, of course, considering the fact that he did have a successful weekend performing in Los Angeles. I've heard over $33 million US. That's money that maybe France could make from at least some part of it from the tours if they continue. What do we make of this apology? And I mean, if someone owns up to their mistakes, should we begin to accept those? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, you talked about the financial aspect. I mean, London is estimated to lose £30 million through the Wireless Festival being completely cancelled. That's an injection of money I think London probably could have used in this geopolitical atmosphere that we are in. And that's another point that you make about accountability. If someone is going to take accountability, and if they are going to apologise and want to make amends, should we give them the opportunity to do that? I think where people may, and this is just from what I've been hearing, it's not my opinion, but I think where people may have a problem, with Kanye West, is that he has apologized in the past and then doubled down on what he has said. So it's felt like an inauthentic and not genuine apology. And I think that's where some people may have an issue. How do they know now that he's being authentic in his apology? Is he being genuine? Does he really mean it? Or is he seeing those dollar signs and thinking to himself, gosh, I need to kind of make it look like I'm sorry, apologize to the community involved, and hopefully I'll be allowed to go about my business. I think the question is, a lot of people will be asking, when he apologizes, is that a genuine apology?
Okay. We hope they take Kanye seriously this time. It's given the boy who cried wolf.
It is a bit. It is. And I think that's what people feel. That, you know, they've been here before, he's apologized before, and then he doubles down. So it doesn't mean anything.
All right. Honestly, at this point, I don't know what to expect from Kanye West.
Yeah.
And I think we're all on the same boat. But if I had to be a bit silly, if he was to perform in Nigeria as part of the world tour,
would we let him?
We will.
Probably would. We probably would. Nigeria?
Good.
Of course, our very own senior international correspondent, Afia. I wish we had more time to break it down along with more stories. But we thank you for giving us the updates on this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yay, Kanye. I don't know what else.
I saw some of the remarks, you know, and I was wondering, what is the problem? I'm like, what is the problem? You know, because just like she mentioned, right, with regards to how they are seeking accountability, you know, and just like you said, he's apologized and all of that. Are they going to take him seriously? Are they going to accept his apology? Because I once felt like when I saw the press statement that he released, I'm like, okay, he's apologized for these things. Well, the remarks were quite a bit. So it's like a punch-up. And the problem basically is they are saying that the Jews, you know, are controlling the media, controlling this. He even used style to attack the Grammys with regards to that. Even when P. Diddy came out one time, he attacked him as well. You know, so I'm just like, what's the problem? What's going on? And then the generalization as well is kind of like weird.
It's the mental health. It's the mental health issues.
Okay,
really
so
tied to that?
This is where I think that this whole Kanye West thing, like Afia said, it's giving double standards, right? Because if that's the case, ban half of the world. No, like I understand if you're saying, oh, someone committed a crime, and because of this crime, or maybe you're a threat, or we suspect that you were linked with terrorist, activities. I understand that, but say now because of statements. Do you know the things that people have said? Let's ban people. Oh,
well,
people are. We have a lot of racists in the world. People say the nastiest things about people of different tribes, people of different races.
Right.
So that's what I mean by ban everybody. Let's rest. Let everybody stay where they are.
But is City willing to lose so much money?
Does he care?
We're
take some reactions.
Let's take reactions.
Because
we'll take some reactions.
Now, Nigeria, we're not losing that money. Okay, this one here is by TJ. Can we just say TJ? TJ says, damn, Kanye West has been denied and blocked from 3 different countries now. Hopefully, it will teach Kanye to watch what comes out of his mouth, because most of the public will not tolerate it. I think the world know like Kanye again. Great Facts House says, France threatening to ban Kanye after wireless meltdown proves European Council culture now punishes free speech, while real threats roam unchecked.
Thank you.
All right, and Simon _ Ugo 44071 says, after everything he's said, especially the anti-Semitic stuff and the Hitler comments, I get why countries are hitting the brakes like this. Free speech is one thing, but when it crosses into straight-up hate, that hurts people. It's tough to defend him touring everywhere like that.
I think that's the problem.
Yeah. All right. Walker says, Kanye's Fraz concert is in jeopardy after the UK said no. Border troubles for the artist. The question is whether the show or the shows go on or the controversies follow him across the continent. Well, how many concerts is he doing? Azanga, that's such a weird name, says this is an international act of sabotage on Kanye's brand.
You know what this has me thinking? You made a statement about how like the Jews, people are then saying that, oh, maybe the Jews control the media, right? Not to be that person, but genuinely, I look forward to the day where they can say, you know, Black people are controlling this narrative. Do you get? So that, because truly now, whether it's a conspiracy theory or not, we see how swiftly and how seriously the world takes anti-Semitic comments
or remarks.
People don't respond to racist comments, especially when it's directed towards people of African descent, with the same energy. Like, I really do look forward to a time where, you know what, you chat a type of way about Nigeria, we can pull some strings. We can actually hit you where it hurts.
You are not coming for Dirty December, and that's fine.
We stay vocal about it.
Oh my God. Anyways, bringing it back home. Guys,
here we go.
Next topic. It gets us.
It's not cute.
Thank you. I love that you said that. Nigeria's kid maker, Cute Abiola, is at the center of an online debate after sharing a highly personal video documenting his wife's childbirth experience via C-section. The video shows parts of the hospital journey, including emotional moments around the surgery, which he presented as a testimony of gratitude and survival. Before we continue, let's take a look at the video.
I had to play some Quran recitations for her because at this point, I was like, very high, the tension was so high, and I was shaking already. For real, I was shaking already. I could not hold it anymore. I was just trying.
Now, the conversation has gone beyond the couple, sparking a wider debate about content creation in the age of social media and where the line should be drawn between storytelling and private life. Now, in Nigeria especially, it raises a bigger question. When does sharing life moments become meaningful content, and when does it become oversharing? My guys.
I think it's up to the people that are sharing it. It's really at this point, because some things are so personal, but not everything is black and white, you know? I can share how, from behind the scenes, what my wedding planning looks like, and somebody else didn't give you any information, you know? And it just depends on you. But in this case, I don't know. The truth is, we've realized that Nigerians, you leave it to them to decide if they want to believe you or not. If you're going to cry, because there are videos of him crying, and some people are going to say that that cry is honest. It's not Nollywood film you're acting. This is not your audition for King of whoever. Please.
Who knows? Maybe he'll use it as his entry. But
No,
do you guys think, like, Kate, do you think that, like, showing videos like this could prove to be inspirational? Like, oh my God, look at what the woman is going through.
Yeah, I think so. Because if you look at some of the reactions, especially on YouTube, because I went to watch the full video on YouTube, I saw the comments, and it even got me a bit teary, because there are lots of people who could relate. I think that's our third or fourth surgery or something.
Yeah,
so this one is, she did a CS for the birth of the child, right? So many people could relate to the journey, the pain, the strength, you know, all of that. And they were dropping the comments on YouTube, and it gave other people, maybe they are pregnant, I don't know, but you could say, oh, I pray for this type of strength, oh, something of so. So I think it can do that. And I feel like I agree with Sam as well, where he said it's about what you want to put out. If you feel like you want to put it out, you're fine with it, that's okay. And again, the wife consented to this. It wasn't just cute Abiola's decision alone to put out the journey or the behind the scenes or whatever it is.
Know that.
I want to believe that. I mean, I want to believe that she did, because she was.
Hope the best.
Yeah, she was in the video and she was saying some stuff. You know, it's a long video.
At that point,
she was
didn't
in the
even get
video.
choose.
Thank you.
We need to be sure.
Not while she was on bed. Not while she was on the bed. When they were in the house, even before the delivery day.
I see.
She was saying, oh, Friday, I'll be going to the hospital. This is my final antenatal. This is this. So I want to believe that she consented to the video.
But I hope it gives some people strength for sure, because there are people, of course, who are hoping to have babies soon, or don't know the realities, or maybe even who have absent men in their lives, you know, and had to do all that by themselves. I've seen a couple of videos, and we laugh about these videos now. We see compilation of some men even passing out. Have you seen those videos?
Yes. Or tweet reactions. I know.
Oh my God. You know, because it is a remarkable experience for anybody. Whether it's your first time or 100th time, it's going to be the same feeling, like, oh my goodness. And being a man who they make you look like you're in control, and you have no control over your wife and your unborn. It's wild.
But then again, right, what I'm starting to wonder is, where do we draw the line ethically? I understand the place of inspiration, and oh my God, yes, thanks for all of this, I can relate. But shouldn't there at least be some ethical concern towards sharing sensitive moments?
But for this, I not see any extra sensitive stuff with this, because there are some videos that we've seen online that they show literally everything, the place the baby is coming from, the baby's head, the blood, everything. They show it and we see it. There are lots of videos like that on social media.
But it doesn't make it right. I'm saying that.
No, I know. I'm just saying that for him in particular, I didn't see anything that was over the top. Or absolutely unnecessary. But I do agree that there should be, we usually say now, boundaries, you know, even for security reasons sometimes. It's like this lady that did her birthday recently and posted the words of cash that they sprayed her, and everybody was, okay, you did a tour of your house recently.
Know where you live.
Now, you are showing that you have, if they come and rob you now, you say, do you understand? So, of course, we have to draw a line as to what we put out on social media, because you don't know what we're saying, especially with people who even have numbers.
We've talked about this consent, and it's important because we need to be sure that everyone in the video knows that they're being filmed. It's okay with it, you're not revealing too much. But also, I think it now boils down to social media itself, the platforms, and what you're able to post. What Instagram or these platforms will say, this is a bit too much, let's pull it down. Because these days we see, like, maybe a post that might be a bit sensitive will be blurred, and then you have to tap on, oh, I still want to watch it. And then you can see, sometimes you see videos, I was telling you, I literally saw a woman who had water birth. And it was quite explicit, you know. I was just like, oh my goodness, there's another baby, they're twins.
She gets.
And as much as like we all come together and we say, this is a remarkable moment, at the same time, you want to be very sensitive to, after the delivery, you want to be happy to see that her parts are everywhere on social. That some things you can film, and don't get me wrong, because we're in a content creation time, I can't lie, but wants to film. But calculate before you post it. Is this important? Can I cut out this clip
because
and
you edit
tell a message?
Exactly. Yeah.
Do they still know that I cried?
This detail, is it necessary?
Yeah.
Right. But I really do quickly want to ask you guys, like, Kate, would you be okay with this? Like, I want to ask Kate.
Which one?
That one didn't show
Posting my journey. I don't think so. I mean, for somebody like me on a norm, I don't think so. On a norm,
you want to keep it a secret? Okay.
But let's take reactions. Let's hear what Nigerians have to say. At Gentar002 says, look at the kind of content you're putting online. What does your wife's pregnancy have to do with anything? Women conceive every single second. Why are you trying to monetize something that's completely natural? She's not the first woman to go through it, so what's all this? Ooh, that was a lot of vitriol. At I am Shola Best says, Oga, you're making video to beg God as if God gets social media accounts. Y'all addicted to social media clicks and online verifications. Don't have privacy in your dictionary. Not to feature Tonya Imaku, Funke Akindele, and the likes remain.
Wow.
Actually, we didn't show that video, but there was a video where he was actually crying and praying and begging God. I thought that was a bit too much. At Khadijat_1 says, this social media money is almost turning people/creators to abnormal. Because you see those moments you don't even supposed to have the boldness to set camera to record. Not to talk of shedding crocodile tears and recording.
Oh, wow.
You know, who am I to blame? Are those who rush to YouTube? Kate.
I mean, I had to go say it. I had to go say it.
They said that Kate's fault.
I had to go say it. I'm sorry.
Because of
Not
you
sorry.
that this is happening. You rush to YouTube. Santiago says, how can a woman choose to go under the knife when there's no complications? Just because they're too lazy to push a child.
Please don't finish reading that.
Hey, okay, I'm going to finish reading it. Like, are you people normal? That's laziness, period.
Okay. I don't have...
No. You know, they say that we should not resort to violence. That's all I'm saying.
You can throw the shekere at the school.
Because if I want to break the shekere now, they will say that I'm angry. Excuse me?
I'm shocked.
And it's so ridiculous that it's so... It's so funny. Thank you. It's so ridiculous that this statement, more often than not, will come from the person who never has to deal with this reality. It's so funny because today I saw a video. Somebody was reacting to a TikTok video where this lady was saying, you know, in my husband's family, we don't do CS. It's a taboo. So my family didn't have a choice. All they had to do, they just had to pray for me. I'm glad, you know, I was told that women who do CS, they are lazy. So I'm glad that I had a natural, like it's not just, you know, a vaginal birth. I was gobsmacked because a lot of people have lost their lives in the process. But hey, isn't it just? Anyways,
nobody
we're going to
has the right to even say that. No right to comment about someone else's process when you are not even there. And again, they have medical professionals to guide them. So how dare you? If I speak to a doctor and decide between me, my wife, and our doctor, who are you?
Is the child not here? Like, they make it seem like children that are born through CS, they are aliens. They have 3 heads.
Or the losses that are happening without the medical care.
And it's, sorry to say, but it's so funny that it will come from Nigerians, seeing as Nigeria has a very high infant the maternal mortality rate. Do you know how many pregnant women lose their lives and how many children don't even make it out of that process?
Guys, we are going to go on a quick break.
So that I can catch her breath.
If I say what's on my mind to that person, it's going to be
No,
fast.
stay your white.
Thank
no, stay your white.
Sure, let's go on a quick break. We'll be back. You're still watching Take 3.
Oh, my God.
Every great day starts with a great morning, and at Breakfast Central, we understand the importance of starting your morning right.
From 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., our team is dedicated to delivering a one-of-a-kind breakfast experience with vibrant conversations, detailed analysis, comprehensive reports, and on-location updates.
Breakfast Central is for you, giving you more time for breaking news, more insights, and more of the stories that matter to you.
Start your morning the right way. Breakfast Central, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday.
Jasiri is where the conversation starts. We amplify diverse voices and challenge narratives.
Bringing societal issues to the fore. This is where everyone has a voice.
That perception that I have your type at home, actually four of your type at home, it starts to shift just because you are like, well, this my type is right here.
Exactly. We break barriers and bridge generational divides.
So who is going to make Gen Z believe that it is giving?
I love it. She
said it. To speak your native language.
Silence is not an option.
We are unconventional, but unique. Brace yourselves.
I had no holes in my ear until I was 14 years old.
And now how many do you have?
I have holes in places you don't want to.
Join us weekdays at 10 a.m. right here on News Central.
All right, welcome back, guys. You're still watching Take 3, but right now it's time for us to get you updated on the latest happenings in the world of entertainment. Here is E-News.
Let's get into it, because today's entertainment headlines are given history, global wins, and a touch of real-life drama. We begin with a historic moment